This is the pinnacle of Texas high school football. Duncanville, Desoto, a pair of two-time defending champs in the state's highest classification, battling for the ultimate bragging rights on Friday Night Football, sponsored by Texas de Brazil. And with that, we welcome you inside the broadcast booth here at Eagle Stadium in Desoto. Mike Leslie alongside the former Lincoln High and Kansas State linebacker Heckma Harrison. Heckma, we've called this the game of the year all week long. There's one fundamental reality to tonight. The winner of this game each of the last 2 years has had the best claim of anyone across Texas for the title, the best team in the state. And there's a real good chance the winner tonight will again be that team.
It is the biggest game in the state, and they call it the District of Doom for a reason, because these two great teams that are nationally ranked are in the same district. Look, the winner of this game, obviously, it doesn't decide the state title tonight, but it gives you a clear picture of how good the teams in 6A really are. And Duncanville and Desoto are always going to fight amongst each other at the top, but getting these guys into Division I and Division II is something that probably people in the UIL would say, look, put them in Division I, okay? Because these are powerhouse schools, and when you talk about the athletes that are going to be on this field, it is just uncanny.
If it were up to the UIL and if it were up to the numbers, they'd be in Division I. 5A Division I is where Desoto would be from an enrollment standpoint. They decided to play up to 6A for this redistricting because they know they've got the talent to play on this level, and they are the favorites to win 6A D2 again this year. This is, as tabbed by Max Preps, the best game in America this weekend in high school football, and there's a reason for that, and it's the talent that will be on the field tonight. We showed a graphic earlier this morning that said 27 of the 44 starters are going to the Division I level. We have an update for you because both schools reached out and said, hey, this guy, this guy, this guy. Sometimes finding details on recruits is a little bit hard to do. 34 of the 44 starters in this game, you see them there on your screen, 17 aside, are headed to play Division I football, and it's important we use the language no fewer than 34 because it's entirely possible the other 10 guys play their way to that level. And again, it's worth noting, this is just amongst the starters. Yeah. There's plenty of kids, Heckma, that are backups on this team, that are underclassmen, that are freshmen, sophomores, that just haven't gotten their chance yet, that will ascend to that level in time. Wow. The talent on the field tonight is insane.
Yeah, I'm using the word ridiculous. So 34 guys going to Division I, and as you stated, there are even guys that you're talking about that are the next guy to be the next superstars in Texas high school football. Names that you don't even know yet that are going to be standing on the sideline because there's a guy better than them. Look, here's the deal. Look at those names. Look at those names. Remember those names because those guys are going to be the who's who that you see in college football. But even bigger than that, some of those names will play on Sunday.
There's a number of them that you can count on playing on Sunday. There's a number that played in this game last year that will end up playing on Sunday that are already making an impact at the next level, which brings me to last year's game. Duncanville had won 5 straight in this matchup from 2017 through 2022. But last year here at Eagle Stadium, let's take you back to the matchup we had a year ago on a Saturday here at Eagle Stadium, and it was quite a start for the Desoto Eagles. The 76-yard touchdown pass from DJ Bailey to Dalen Singleton on the first play from scrimmage, 7-0 Desoto. They lead 7-3 after a Duncanville field goal. And then it's Dalen Singleton again, this time taking it from his own 4-yard line, weaving through the defense, beating the kicker, and going for another touchdown, his second of 3 in the first half alone, 14-3 Desoto. Duncanville would answer. Caden Durham with the touchdown run here late first quarter. This plus a 2-point conversion tied the game up at 14 points apiece. But Desoto was just too much last year. I mentioned Dalen Singleton had 3 first-half touchdowns. Here's the third. DJ Bailey looking up top for him again. This made it 28-21. Desoto would score again before halftime, just before halftime, to make it 35-21. And then this from Marvin Duffy put the finishing touches on it. 49-35, the final score. Desoto with the win. Claude Mathis and company celebrating in a big way. And Heckma, then they went on to win a state championship. Tonight, Mathis and his team on their home field again try to do it again.
Last year was such an amazing game, and obviously it almost didn't happen. It ended up having to be played on a Saturday. But I say there, man, Claude Mathis, and you see that celebration, how happy he was for his seniors, guys that never beat, had previous years had never beat Duncanville, to finally get over that hill to beating those guys. And I tell you what, man, I anticipate that tonight's game is going to have some of those same fireworks.
So let's get you our players to watch for this football game, and we start on the visiting side with Duncanville quarterback Keelan Russell, one of the very best quarterbacks in the country, arguably, maybe, Heckma, the single best.
Look, he is a cool customer, and he's one of those guys that has developed into this star. He didn't come in to Duncanville like that. They have developed him, and, man, he is one of those quarterbacks. And just going back to last year, DJ Bailey was that quarterback in the way that he just, facilitated that offense. Man, Keelan Russell is that this year for the Duncanville Panthers.
In that moment you just saw on your screen with Keelan Russell talking to his team, I heard him say to his teammates, hey, this is a revenge game. This is a revenge moment for us. Everything you do, bring everything you've got. They remember what happened on this field a year ago, and they don't want it to transpire the same way this evening. Meanwhile, for DeSoto, it is their running back, Tiger Ryden, who Dave Campbell's tabbed as the best running back in Texas. This kid is fantastic.
He is different. And the deal with Tiger, he is that tough inside the tackles runner, but he is also the guy that can run away from you. They go as he goes. And if he is able to break this game open the way that Singleton did last season, man, this is going to be a long night for this vaunted Duncanville Panther defense.
They run the football at a ridiculous clip, 325 rushing yards per game for the DeSoto Eagles this year. It's not just Tiger Ryden, it's also Myson Johnson-Cook, the 5-star sophomore that they have now on the roster. He's fantastic. They run the ball a lot with their quarterback, Keldon Ryan. The offensive line for DeSoto can move bodies. If they're going to win this football game tonight, it's going to be with what they do on the ground.
Yeah, and we say Tigers is that guy, but like you just said, to that clip, 300 times they run the ball. They depend on it heavily, and when they do play action and they try and hit you over the top, it's usually wide open because that defense has spent all of their time, effort, and energy trying to stop the run.
This feels like a game, and if you watched DeSoto lose to North Crowley earlier this year, 57-51, I don't know if it's going to necessarily get that pointsy, but this has potential to be a shootout tonight. These two defenses, the offenses are loaded with talent, on both sides. They do it in different ways. Duncanville's more through the air, DeSoto more on the ground. The defenses are a little bit younger, a little bit less experienced, a little bit less, a little bit, let me stress that, a little bit less talent-laden than the offenses are. This feels like a game that could be a bit of a track meet.
And when you talk about Duncanville's defense, that is something that no one has ever said about a Romel Barner's defense being in a track meet, because this is lock the gates, all right? These guys they are that. It have been for a very long time. And so I anticipate Duncanville, because their defenses have carried them to state titles. They have to be that good tonight, Mike.
You could scour the country. You will not find a better high school football game than the one we have coming up 4 minutes from now, right here on WFA+. Friday Night Football, Duncanville and DeSoto. Kickoff after this. The 12-yard touchdown. Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Forney at Rockwall. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking your pumps out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Duncan.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game, the triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
The 12-yard touchdown.
Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Forney at Rockwall. Stream the broadcast free. Next Friday night at 7 on WFAA Plus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Back in Desoto, getting closer to kickoff. Let's introduce you to the coaches this evening. First for the visiting Duncanville Panthers, their head coach, Reginald Samples. Over 300 wins in his career, 344, a pair of state championships the last 2 years. Meanwhile, for Desoto, Claude Mathis, his 6th year back at Desoto, 50-10 in that time, and a pair of state titles for him as well. The national anthem is moments away here at DeSoto's Eagle Stadium. We will step aside for just a moment. When we return, time for kickoff. DeSoto won the toss and will receive after this on Friday Night Football.
We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delcas.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
The 12-yard touchdown. Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Forney at Rockwall. Stream the broadcast free. Next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+. Friday Night Football on WFAA+. Tonight, from Eagle Stadium in Desoto, the game of the year. The lines to get in extending into the parking lot as we approach kickoff here in Desoto. A year ago, the Eagles won this game 49-35. The 5 times prior, Duncanville won the matchup. A pair of playoff wins in the mix as well. Tonight, Duncanville looks to, they hope anyway, Heckma Harrison start another winning streak. We'll see what happens this evening.
Oh, the energy in this building is incredible. You talk about the line outside just to get in, man, and just the thousands that are watching right now. This is obviously the biggest game in the state of Texas right now. Let's get it on.
2,800 of you already with us right now concurrently on the WFAA YouTube channel. 2,900 of you. Please drop a comment in the live chat. Let us know where you're watching from tonight, who you've got winning this football game tonight. Let us know if you got a favorite player on either one of these two teams, if you're a parent or a grandparent, an aunt and uncle that's watching from across the country. And again, let us know where you're watching from tonight, because Heckma, I've had people asking me on social media all day, hey, what time does the game start in the Eastern time zone? That's how big this football game is tonight. There's people coast to coast that want to tune in for Duncanville, Desoto.
Hey, we may have some international watchers tonight. Some people in the UK may be tuned in also.
Kickoff just moments away. Desoto won the toss and elected to receive, so we will see the Eagles offense first. Jonathan Batris to kick it away for the Duncanville Panthers. Dalen Singleton and Christoph Fantroy deep to return. It's Singleton who had a kickoff return for a touchdown in this game last year that brings it out across the 20 to the 23-yard line, and that is where Keldon Ryan and the DeSoto Eagles offense will get to work. Ryan wearing number 3. 59 of 91, 65% completion percentage this year, 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, a 3-star prospect Heckma on his way to Virginia Tech. Big shoes to fill, taking over for DJ Bailey.
Oh, he absolutely does. And when we got an opportunity to talk with Coach Mathis, he was glowing about Ryan and just the job that he's been doing this season. He expects for this quarterback to be able to guide this offense, especially behind this running game.
Especially behind this running game, as Tiger Ryden takes the first carry of the football game and picks up 7 out to the 30-yard stripe.
And if you know anything about Texas high school football, I want you to put your eyes on number 76, Byron Washington, 6'8", 400 pounds.
He is a massive human being on his way to Syracuse. They'll swing it out to the right side this time for Tiger Ryden. He's got the first down. Good blocking on the outside by Dalen Singleton. And DeSoto's offense has moved the chains on their first possession.
Yes, and you know what? Here is the thing with DeSoto. They hit you in so many different ways. They go side to side. They go up the middle. And this is what I'm looking for in this first half. How do they handle these continuous blows from the DeSoto offense?
Quick swing pass, Dalen Singleton right side, close to a first down. They were still setting the chains.
Yeah.
And it looks like he does indeed have enough to move the sticks out to the 41-yard line. Did they wipe that play away altogether, I wonder? They still can't figure out the chains on the far side.
Well, the thing is, DeSoto is going quick.
DeSoto's offense wants to move up tempo as could possibly be. 57.6 points per game, 325 yards a game on the ground alone, Hackma. This Duncanville defense that you see in your screen has their hands full tonight.
Yeah, they do. And up front, Kevin Ford, A.J. Brown, Dylan Williams, and Landon Barnes. Those four guys up front, they're going to be responsible for stopping this rushing attack from DeSoto. They have to be sturdy for 4 quarters and not allow these big plays and big chunk plays to come from the Eagles offense.
3rd down and 2 here for DeSoto. And Ryden is going to squeeze up the middle and have enough for a first down. DeSoto, the 2-time defending 6A Division II state champions, one of the juggernauts of Texas high school football. Head coach Claude Mathis in his second go-round with the Eagles has built a monster Heckma here on Eagle Drive. Now they're trying to meet their own standard again. We talked with Mathis earlier this week. He said, we're not there yet, but we're getting there. To the air, right side. Missing the target was Keldon Ryan. Sarad Baker, the stud sophomore, the intended receiver.
Yeah, and this in the secondary as well. We hadn't got an opportunity to say this name, but Boobie Feaster, number 7, the sophomore wide receiver, he is another big part of what they do offensively. This kid is a 5-star and has every college in America looking at him.
2nd down and 10. Up the middle. They stop the play.
Wow.
A false start. Otherwise, Tiger Ryden was loose to the house. Instead, it will be 2nd down and 15. This Duncanville Panthers defense, led by their defensive coordinator, Ramel Borner, giving up just 16.7 points per game this year, Hackma. 4-3 base defense. They feel like they've got the talent on the field, but they've got a big task this year replacing Colin Simmons.
And that is a big-time responsibility, replacing that production. But they're hoping that Kevin Ford can be up to the task, number 10 on the near side.
2nd and 15. An offense that likes to run the ball, forced to go to the air here. Quick throw far side, complete for Dalen Singleton. Out of bounds at the 46 in Duncanville territory, and that will set up a 3rd and manageable.
And you see the offensive coordinators, Charles Williams and Kerry Sweeney, they're out on the field at the 40 up here. I mean, literally on the field making these calls. I don't know too many offensive coordinators that's on the field during the game like this.
Charles Williams and Kerry Sweeney, co-offensive coordinators, dialing up a 3rd and 6 here, and they dial up a deep shot, looking for Singleton, just beyond the reach of Dalen Singleton. There are no flags. It is a 4th down. Singleton had that 76-yard touchdown reception to start the game a year ago that staked DeSoto to that 7-0 lead just seconds into the football game. This time they look for him again, but just a bit too far down the field, and DeSoto will have to punt.
And we've gone about 3 minutes into this first quarter, and we haven't said this guy's name. Shame on us. But DeCorian Moore is on this field, and he is the best wide receiver in the nation. Committed to go to Oregon. And when we talked with Coach Mathis, it was all about what do you do about DeCorian Moore. And he's like, look, I feel like I have the guys over here that can stay with him, defend him, and we know what Duncanville's going to do. They're going to try and get him the ball. We have to try and contain him as well.
Moore was on the field there for the punt return, but wisely Andre Pentecost of DeSoto punted it over his head and into the end zone. No harm in a touchback in that scenario.
No.
And out comes the Duncanville offense. Keelan Russell, the starting quarterback there in the middle of your frame. The senior 5-star on his way to Alabama. The number 3 ranked quarterback in the senior class in the country. A terrific talent. Quickly to the air, but this one bounced at the feet of Asen Theus. and it will be 2nd down and 10. Duncanville, led by their offensive coordinator, Jason Lavender. His starters on the screen right now. 41.5 points per game early on this season in their first 4 games. Spread offense, heavy on the passing game. DeCorian Moore, Zach Turner, Asen Theus, Trenton Yancey, all 4 starting wide receivers. Big time recruits. They will push the football down the field. They do over the middle here. That is complete in the hands of Zach Turner, the big-bodied junior tight end / wide receiver, and that's just shy of a 1st down.
Hey, you call it WRTE. Just say, man, this guy is the special sauce to what the Panthers do. They need him. And I'm telling you, when you talk about DeCorian Moore and what he does, it is Zach Turner doing all the dirty work in between those zones and making catches just like that.
3rd down and 1 for the 2-time defending 6AD1 state champs. Handoff up the middle. Jaquaylin Armstrong driven back, but not before he got to the 30-yard line, and just enough to move the chains for Reginald Sample's team. This Duncanville program, one of the standard bearers, Heckma, in the state. As you see, Armstrong get banged to the turf, but he did have the 30-yard line and had enough to move the sticks. Samples, a legend, a man that you played for back in the 90s. Nowhere to go this time for Asen Theus. It's going to be 2nd down and 11. He has built this Duncanville program, Heckma, into a monster.
No, he has. And so many guys, so many names that have come from Coach Reginald Samples. I mean, going back to my day into current day. And these are guys that obviously are having an impact in college football and also in the pros.
2nd down and 11 here for Russell. Clean pocket for a moment, but not anymore. It collapsed in a heartbeat. Cortez Rager and Marshall Curvin with the pressure up the middle. And Desoto, who made their bones last year in this game, Heckma, with their pressure on the quarterback, gets a sack early.
I told you that last season a name popped out to me, number 15, Kiki Abrams, and I wrote down on my sheet of paper, who is Kiki Abrams? I've never forgotten him, and so is no one in America has either, because he is thrust onto the scene. The TCU commit is everything to this DeSoto Eagles defense.
3rd down and a mile here. They have to get to the 41-yard line. 3rd and 21 for Keelan Russell. Russell flush from the pocket. Downfield, that ball is caught by Trenton Yancey, but it will be well short of the line to gain. At the 35-yard line, it'll be 4th and 6. And heck, we came into this game saying, hey, might we get a track meet? Both defenses force a punt on the opening possession.
I mean, and I think if you're, for both of these defensive coordinators, you will welcome this. You know, you don't give much ground. Both of these defenses force a punt here in the first quarter, and this is the type of game that I love. Who's going to blink first? Who's going to be the first to have any breaks and coverages? And we know how big special teams has been in this game.
So Duncanville to punt. DeCorian Moore is their punter, so they've got a sure-handed punter at the very least. Line drive kick, fielded at the 25. And quickly slung down to the turf after a return of just a couple yards. Christoph Fantroy, the punt returner for DeSoto. So Heckma early on in this football game, both defenses making a stop. Scoreless through the opening 4 minutes and 38 seconds.
Oh, you know, I love it. I love it. I love a defensive game. I came into this game last season. We talk about the shoes the shoes that have to be filled with guys like Colin Simmons and Caden Durham and what they're doing right now in the college ranks. So many of these guys are so talented, and I'm telling you, stars are being born right here in front of us.
So here comes this DeSoto offense once again, looking to ground and pound this Duncanville defense. Nowhere to go on 1st and 10.
And Nehemiah Barner, you see, I mean, son of the defensive coordinator, number 4, coming up and filling that hole. That's a great job on the outside, not allowing that running back to get to the outside. You're going to need an effort like that continuously in this game.
Barner, a Lamar commit, one of several Division I talents in this football game. One of them carrying right there, Tiger Ryden, twisting his way out to the 33-yard line and setting up 3rd down and manageable.
And I don't know if we've said so much here in the open that Tiger didn't even play last season, this last game last season, and his impact is going to be tremendous on this game.
He was fired up to get out there tonight. big hit in the backfield, but he bounces off of it. It's going to depend on the spot here, whether or not Desoto has the first down on what was 3rd and 3.
That's A.J. Brown, 6'3", 285 up front with penetration, and he's the one that makes contact. And you see kind of slow him down here. You see on the replay. Well,
they're going to go for it here on 4th down and a yard in their own territory.
Not blinking.
Out of shotgun. Ryan trusting the run game. He's going to keep it himself. He's got to get to the edge. He's got a first down. There is a flag. There was a big hold in the backfield. 2 flags came in. There was no question that was a hold. I was surprised it took that long for a flag to come in.
I think they get the tight end, Michael Head, out here on the outside with the holding penalty. Gutsy call, though, here in the first quarter to trust your quarterback on an RPO to get around the corner. He does, but the holding penalty is what assists.
Ryan Vance, our referee tonight, leading up a 7-man crew. No question that that was a hold. And instead of going for it on 4th and 1, now Desoto will punt the ball away on 4th and 12.
Now you're in danger zone right now because you got a guy like DeCorian Moore back there with space and opportunity.
5,300 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. Please click the like button, click the subscribe button, as we will bring you a game each week here on Friday Night Football. The punt is sky high and going nowhere. Out of bounds in Desoto territory and deep in Desoto territory. Where will they spot this football? Our side judge says the 35-yard line, does Chris Pucci. Terrific field position, Heckma, for the Duncanville Panthers to take over.
And that's a bit of a weird sequence. You see Nehemiah Barner come on at the last minute from the outside. He rushes, and I think that's what rushes the punter into a shank. Well, that is a bad punt, but it sets up the Duncanville Panthers in plus territory. Can they do something with it to draw first blood here in this first quarter?
1st down and 10 for Duncanville at the 35-yard line in plus territory. Quick throw, Russell, Theus trying to get the corner. Good pursuit from the DeSoto defense.
That's just pure speed right there. You got a guy in Ace and Theus that is lightning fast, but look at the reaction from the defense. These guys are making sure that they are cutting that corner down. Number 21, Jordan Stevens. Man, that is just great speed and great leverage to make sure that guy doesn't get around the corner.
2nd down and 9, a pickup of 1. Motion man is Theus. Quick throw over the middle, low intended for Zach Turner. Friday Night Football is sponsored by Texas de Brazil. Brazilian flavors, Texas spirit. Enjoy the best of both worlds, where Brazilian culinary traditions meet the bold flavors of Texas. Come for the food, stay for the adventure. 3rd down and 9 forthcoming here for Duncanville. They have to get Heckma to the 25.
We're going to need this. I mean, this is one of these possessions right now that big 3rd down coming up.
Pressure, they protect, throw is high. There was a flag prior to the snap thrown by the head linesman on the near side.
And that's our guy, Kiki Abrams. Kiki Abrams last year, he rushed this game wide open, man. His pressure on Keelan Russell, he made it impossible for them to get into their offensive sets.
We'll see what Ryan Vance has to say here. It will be 4th down in a legal formation against Duncanville. So 4th down and 9. Ball at the 34, not in field goal range, so they're going to go for it here, kind of in no man's land. Again, they've got to get to the 25 to move the chains. This is the benefit of the short punt for Duncanville. There's no real penalty here if you don't convert. Russell rolling near side. Has a man behind the defense looking for Theus. Knocked away. No flags. There was no contact, so no pass interference. Jai Trawick didn't turn Heckma to play the ball, but he didn't contact the receiver, so there's no penalty.
And if I'm Mason Theus, and I'm telling you, they're going to come back and look at the tape on this, but it's a ball that's underthrown. Great defense, but how you can just kind of goat this guy into a PI is come back for the ball and make him run into you.
Yes, that's the teach tape there for Reginald Samples and his coaching staff. Asen, come back to the ball and crash into him.
Yes.
Get the PI.
Automatically, you're going to get the pass interference.
So DeSoto will take over at their own 34. They get away, Heckma, with the shaky punt.
Yeah.
And only having given up a couple of yards worth of field position.
Oh, man, this is a shootout already. I love it defensively.
I would not have expected this, man. I really wouldn't have.
I know you didn't.
1st and 10. Nowhere to go for Tiger Ryden. These defenses said, hey, forget all that 5-star talent on offense. We're here to play too. Kevin Ford with the tackle.
Look at Kevin Ford. He's just staying solid on the outside. And again, making sure that you're shutting those gaps down. You know exactly what Tiger wants to do. He wants to put his nose up in there and get the ugly yards, man. But you shut it down on a big-time running back, and that is a big-time throw to the near side.
Complete in the hands of Christoph Fantroy, who had a touchdown reception in this game a year ago. And that's going to make 3rd down a little more manageable here for DeSoto. 3rd down and 5 from the 39.
And you see, and the nerves are so high on both of these teams offensively, but starting to see DeSoto kind of settle in right there with that throw by Ryan.
3rd and 5. Ryan protected well, escapes the pocket. He's got all day to run up the far side. Big hit. They took that play out of the game. Keldon Ryan made a man miss and will score, but it is all coming back because of a penalty on Christoph Fantroy. He's trying to say, I hit him with my shoulder, but it doesn't matter. Heck, it's the blind side aspect of that they have taken out of the game.
What used to be considered routine in football is no more, and you just got to teach it different. And this is a play where right now Keldon Ryan, he's surveying, keeping his eyes up, but then once he recognized that he has that corner, he makes a move, and look at the speed to try and get on the outside. Fantroy is just instinctively just trying to pick up a block for his quarterback.
And that's the hard thing about it, it's a player playing with instinct. However, on that replay, I'm noticing it also was a block in the back. He was on the backside of his shoulder when he made the block. So regardless, even 20 years ago, that play's getting called back. And it's a shame because it was a terrific effort from Keldon Ryan to make a couple guys miss on the far sideline and get to the end zone. Instead, now it's 3rd down and 17. Ryan, well protected all day to survey and fire deep for Singleton, who can't quite haul it in. One-on-one with Braylon Edwards. Singleton got his hands on it, but just couldn't quite squeeze it.
And I tell you what, it looked like Singleton was open forever. And the ball is delivered. He's throwing a dot and just giving number 25 like an opportunity to get it closed out at the last minute. My goodness, that was as close as it was. We had 2 back-to-back plays that could have broken this game open.
Instead, DeSoto will punt it away again. Lefty punt much better this time from Andre Pentecost, and that's going to take a big DeSoto bounce as well. Andre Pentecost had a rough punt earlier. This time, Heckma flips field position and sets Duncanville up at their own 17.
Yeah, he definitely atones for the shank on that because, man, he put boot into that. Right now, I'm just looking for this Duncanville offense to settle in. They've got to get behind this running game as well. They've been passing a lot here in the early part of the first quarter.
Heckma, a defensive struggle has broken out here.
I love it.
At DeSoto's Eagle Stadium. I know I didn't expect this. I don't think you did. I know you love it as a former linebacker, but you didn't expect this either, no?
No, I didn't. And you talk about the weapons on both sides. Obviously, you would have thought by now that there would be points on the board.
Quick throw near side. Complete in the hands of Trenton Yancey, the stud sophomore that transferred over from Arlington Lamar and already as a sophomore has 31 scholarship offers. That picks up 5.
Yeah, it is so much speed out here. And that wide receiver room, they have guys that are definitely running sub times.
2nd down and 5. Play action. Russell's going to take off for it and run for it himself. Stiff arms his way. He's got the 1st down and then some. Russell trying to stay inbounds up the sideline. He's got enough, though, for the 1st down.
Stay tuned for the Friday Night Football halftime show sponsored by Golden Chick. Golden Chick is a perfect post-game destination. Come in and see why we say it's one taste and you're golden at Golden Chick.
1st and 10 for Duncanville at the 34. Keelan Russell breaking contain. Russell with pressure in his face, makes Curvin miss, fires deep downfield to Corian Moore. Couldn't be more wide open. Touchdown Duncanville. 66 yards. That's why Keelan Russell's a 5-star.
DeCorian Moore is out here hooping in Desoto. What a throw. He gets completely behind the safeties. I didn't see the play action, but it is just the speed from DeCorian Moore getting behind those safeties. And I mean, he's a full 5 yards away from the safety or any defender. I tell you what, the Oregon Ducks have got themselves a stud on the way.
Jonathan Beatrice on to try for the extra point. It took nearly 9 minutes for one of these high-powered offenses to find the end zone, but it's 7-0 Duncanville. The game of the year. Who's the best team in Texas? It's at stake tonight on Friday Night Football.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit. It's agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories. The unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
The 12-yard touchdown.
Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Forney at Rockwall. Stream the broadcast free. Next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
Let's bring you back to last December at AT&T Stadium. Reginald Samples and his team looking for another title. His team was senior-laden and very balanced, very talented, and they never wavered. It was the Caden Durham show. A 71-yard touchdown run here in the first quarter, a 92-yard touchdown run shortly thereafter. The Panthers dominated their nemesis North Shore to win their second consecutive state championship. The 92-yarder threw a face mask. Yeah. They lead tonight here 7-0. That kickoff is dangerous. Desoto decides to field it. Really, Singleton had no choice. He makes a man miss up the sideline. There is a flag behind the play. We'll see if that's on Duncanville or Desoto. Preliminary signal indicates it is against the Eagles' return team.
Yeah, it is impossible. Impossible to replace Caden Durham. And you see what he's doing in Baton Rouge right now. They have themselves a stud running back. And, hey, who knew running the ball is back in style in the college and in the pros? Everybody is talking about their running backs. We even have a running back that's up for the Heisman in Ashton Genty.
A young man we spotlighted here on Friday Night Football 4 years ago. 2020 football season, Denton Ryan, Frisco Lone Star. Genty was the national leader in touchdown runs that year. Desoto here taking over at their own 6-yard line after the penalty, and there is no running room to be found here for Tiger Ryden on 1st and 10.
Yeah, they have to do this job. You see right now for Kevin Ford and that defensive front, I said it, those 4 guys are going to have to also get pressure, but they're also going to have to be stout in the run. They can't get pushed around by this big offensive line of the Eagles.
2nd down and 10. Whistles at the snap, and a penalty pre-snap. Looks like it's going to be against Desoto again, a false start. That's going to dock him half the distance. This is something that Claude Mathis talked with us about earlier this week, Heckma. This Desoto team, when they lost to North Crowley earlier this year, which was a stunner statewide to see this team lose a game at all to basically anybody not named Duncanville, he said the issue we had that night was discipline. 17 penalties, 6 unsportsmanlike penalties, Mathis said when we talked with him earlier this week. He said we have to clean that kind of stuff up, especially in games like this where the energy is so high, the emotions are so high. We have to be on top of things.
Yeah, as they adjust this ball here, he did not like that loss at all. But what he did think about it, he said it refocused this team. It made me refocus these players, but even better, these coaches.
2nd down and 13 after the penalty. This time they do create some space, some helmets flying, or pieces of helmets flying as Tiger Ryden crashed into, I think it was a mouthpiece of a Duncanville player that Tiger Ryden just sent to the stratosphere. Watch this. Bang.
Wow, that is impact right there. Ignite on impact. And you saw it right there, the power that he's coming downhill running with.
Darian Lycan's mouthpiece looked like a Mento and a bottle of Coke, just poo to the moon.
That's a great comparison because that is exactly what that looked like.
3rd down and 7 and another false start on the DeSoto Eagles, and Keldon Ryan is hopping up and down on his own goal line saying, let's go already.
I can't, and they probably can't believe it that they're getting victimized by these penalties here in their own territory. They've got to be better than that.
This is going to be another half the distance penalty, unless are they saying Dalen Singleton signaling that it's against Duncanville? And it is. And that will set up 3rd down and 2 here for DeSoto. What do you like here on 3rd and 2, Heckma, after the penalty?
I'm going to hand it to my running back. I mean, he is still able to get downhill and pick up those tough yards.
And he does. 1st down, Tiger Ryden.
I wouldn't look anywhere else. I mean, 3rd and 2 situation, I wouldn't risk putting this ball in the air. I have a beefy offensive line, and I trust those guys to pick up 2 yards.
Player down for Duncanville after the play. It is their big defensive tackle, A.J. Brown. We showed you Duncanville's state championship. Let's look at DeSoto's state title from back in December. Claude Mathis getting his boys fired up before kickoff in the 6A D2 state title game. And did it ever work, Heckma? An utterly dominant performance from DeSoto. DJ Bailey threw for 4 touchdowns, 3 of them to Dalen Singleton, all of them in the first quarter. It was 36-7 DeSoto at the end of the first, on their way to an annihilation of Humble Summer Creek. 74-14 was the final score as DeSoto stamped their 2nd consecutive state championship. They were an absolute machine a year ago, and they bring it back this year, Heckma, trying to do more of the same.
I think Summer Creek is still trying to figure out what hit them. I mean, DeSoto came out in that state title game, and they were red hot from the beginning. Those points in the first quarter, and they never looked back.
So out of the injury timeout there for A.J. Brown. We'll keep an eye on whether or not the big defensive tackle is able to get back out there for Duncanville. 1st and 10, Ryan protected, but another flag behind the play in the vicinity of a hold. Ryan got undercut. A helmet went flying there. That's DeCorian Moore, by the way, the stud 5-star wide receiver. He's playing some defense tonight, Heckma, too. We'll check the penalty.
It's all hands on deck. It's all hands on deck, and I tell you what, so much for being a finesse guy as a wide receiver. You see him come in and put his shoulder into that tackle. He's walking to the sideline, I guess, because he lost his helmet.
DeCorian, that is a very valuable shoulder, my man. Like, I love the passion. I love the fire. But, dude, you're going to Oregon next year. Man, if that doesn't tell you what this game means, that dude with his future is out there playing defense tonight for DeSoto and laying hits like that on Keldon Ryan.
Yeah, he's not thinking about Oregon right now. He's thinking about this game that's happening in DeSoto. These guys are playing for a championship, and they know in order to get there in the seeding, you got to pull out a win right now.
It was a hold rather that brought this play back, so it's 1st and 20, and that play went nowhere. Dalen Singleton on the wide receiver screen. DeSoto's offense moved the ball a little bit on the first couple of possessions. Heckma, they have ground to a halt here.
Yeah, and it's because of the self-inflicted wounds. They're hurting themselves with those penalties, man. And look, they've really got to clean those things up. So far, I mean, the way and the pace that this game is being played with is really impressive for both of these teams.
Final 20 seconds here of this opening period. 2nd down and 20. Ryan protected, steps up, got away, spins away, and throws it away. No intentional grounding on the play. He was well outside of the tackle box. It'll be 3rd down and 20.
Boy, he is dancing around. Look at how many Panthers are closing in on him that he evades the tackle. That's 1. And 2, he just finally throws that thing away. But, man, he was in a bit of trouble earlier. You see Coach Reginald Samples pointing out that that's a grounding penalty, but not called.
I suppose there's an argument that he made his way back into the tackle box, but he definitely got out of it. 3rd and 20, final play here of the opening period. Ryan stepping up, going to try and run for as much of it as he can. Picks up 11 or 12, and that will bring the opening quarter to a close. The biggest game of the year across the state of Texas. And Duncanville starts it well. DeCorian Moore with the touchdown grab. And Duncanville's up 7-0 after 1. The 12-yard touchdown.
Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Forney at Rockwall. Stream the broadcast free. Next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
Back here on Friday Night Football, let's bring you back to 1998 and the first state title in Duncanville history. This was an epic football game. This Converse Judson blocked punt, returned for a touchdown, gave the Rockets a 21-7 lead. Bob Alpert's going, what's going on? But Duncanville would come back on the ensuing kickoff. Nick Howard, a young man who played linebacker for this Duncanville team, returns the kickoff 89 yards for the touchdown, and that gave Duncanville some life, 21-14. In the 4th, Jeremy Hurd, the quarterback that year for Duncanville, rolling out and hitting Codis Martin in the end zone for the touchdown. Tie game at 21. And special teams was the story of this one. This is the ensuing kickoff. Judson doesn't get on it, and Duncanville does. And that sets up what would be the game-winning field goal from Travis Hale from 33 yards out. And the Duncanville Panthers and head coach Bob Alpert bring a title home to the City of Champions. Back here to start quarter number 2 in Desoto. Desoto set to punt the football away. DeCorian Moore again deep to return. Pentecost let off a really good punt the last time around. This one, frankly, more like the first one. Out of bounds up the Duncanville sideline. We'll see where they spot the ball out of bounds, but it's again going to be terrific field position for the Panthers. They're going to start in plus territory, Heckma, at the DeSoto 40.
And just continue to pound on this defense. I think last time out on that last touchdown from Keelan Russell, you started to see them mix the run in a little bit as well. So they have to continue to stay balanced and throw this rush attack off for the Eagles on the other side. You know, Kiki Abrams, all he wants to do is cancel Christmas and get those contacts and pressures on Keelan Russell.
1st and 10, quick throw near side. Asen Theus has got a blocker out in front. Nice tackle made by Ryan Pelly, the senior. But a pickup of 8 on the play to start the series.
But a great job by Ryan Pelly at a safety position, just making sure that he uses the sideline as an extra defender, just not allowing for Theus to get back inside because he had more help in blockers.
2nd down and 2. Duncanville picking up the pace a little bit here back to the line of scrimmage. Jason Lavender sending the play in. Theus in motion. Handoff Armstrong. Nowhere to go. The run fits from this DeSoto defense. Marshall Curvin with the tackle.
And Marshall Curvin, he's 5'10", 265. Look at him hold up and come around his blocker. But that's on Jaquelin Armstrong. He has to make a decision. Hit the hole, try and pick up positive yards. You cannot dance around on this DeSoto Eagle defense. They're just too fast and they're too good.
We just showed those 98 Desoto highlights. Scott Galloway, a member of this Desoto community, sends me a text message that says Desoto beat Duncanville back in 98, but Duncanville went in one state. 3rd down and 5. Russell stepping up in the pocket, but chased down by Kiki Abrams. Flags all over the place.
I can only imagine that is a face mask.
Looked like it was at least possible.
Got 2 flags out there, so let's see if they both saw the same thing or 2 different.
Sure enough, a face mask on number 15, Kiki Abrams. So says our referee tonight, Ryan Vance. And a free 1st down here for Duncanville when it was going to be 4th and 4.
And closing in is Kiki Abrams, but he gets that left hand underneath the face mask of Keelan Russell. And again, here are the Panthers going fast again.
1st and 10 at the 19. They stack up to Corian Moore. They run him in a trail route to the end zone, and Russell hits him for the touchdown. 19 yards on the hookup from 5-star to 5-star. Touchdown, Duncanville.
Just a beautiful corner route. Look at this, and I mean this is gorgeous, and this is almost like routes on air. The way that Keelan Russell puts this ball into place that only his wide receiver can get to it, and I think they're going to get him for an unsportsmanlike at the end of that play. Guys, you're costing your team when you do stuff like that. I don't know what this new fad is with, the imaginary gun. I understand these guys are doing it in the pros, but you got to stop it. You're going to cost your team big.
We have seen that celebration crop up a lot in the professional and collegiate ranks over the course of even just this season. And
got to stop it. I sound like an old man when I do that. You know what? My son's, Dad, everybody's doing it. And I'm like, okay, you're going to get benched. That's what's going to happen. You're going to get benched. Your coach is going to tell you, here's a hammer, here's a nail, get to the end of the bench and nail yourself to the end of it. That's probably not going to happen to Corian Moore, though.
Beatrice with the, definitely not. Definitely not. Beatrice with the extra point, 14-0. The score in favor of Duncanville. They have not yet added the tally to the in-house scoreboard. There we go. Now they add the 7 points for Duncanville. DeSoto's like, do we have to? Do we have to? So this is interesting to me. We have seen over the course of the last couple of years multiple instances where DeSoto has been the team to start fast. 2021, they jumped out to a 14-0 lead. 2023, a year ago here at this stadium, they jumped out to a 14-3 lead. In 2021, Duncanville came back and asserted their dominance in that game and outscored them 42-7 the rest of the way. A year ago, DeSoto was able to maintain their level and win that football game. This time, though, a little bit of a flip, maybe a little bit more like the 2022 game in Duncanville. It's the Panthers that start out strong with this 14-0 lead, and now McLeod Mathis' team has to respond.
Yeah, they have to answer, and I think all of the momentum, we know that there's so many ebb and flows in the course of a football game, but you get to the point where you have to answer, especially when it's looking so one-sided with the way that the Duncanville Panther offense is operating. It's not that they haven't had the opportunities. I think it's just been the penalties that has cost this DeSoto offense. And you see right now with where Duncanville is having to kick this ball off from, they're going to give a guy like Day-Day Singleton an opportunity to get a big game.
He had the 96-yard kickoff return for a touchdown a year ago that staked DeSoto to a 14-3 lead in the first quarter of this game and really set the tone for that football game. Beatrice to Singleton at the 18. Singleton makes the first man miss. Dalen Singleton running to daylight. Dalen Singleton with no flags down will score. Dalen Singleton says, I believe that was my cue. Touchdown DeSoto.
That is what you call a thank you very much right there from Dalen Singleton, because that's, like you said, right on cue from what we saw last season in this game. He is dangerous with the ball in his hands, and we have a special teams touchdown. It is going to take all 3 phases of the game today for the DeSoto Eagles And, boy, you see one of those phases show up right now. And, boy, how about that from 13? Deja vu all over again.
And that is the impact of the penalty on DeCorian Moore.
I'm just saying.
We have seen penalties have an impact on this game already both ways. Desoto's, frankly, had the bigger issue with it. That extra point is no good. Wide to the left from Destin Anyachukwu. And it will stay 14-6 as a result. But Dalen Singleton on your screen there with the 82-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, and DeSoto is on the board.
No, that kid is phenomenal. Cat quick, and you saw right there, man, is you give this kid just a little bit of daylight, he's going to score.
Let's take you back to 2016 and the first DeSoto state championship in program history against Cibolo Steel at AT&T Stadium. This was the Sean Robinson DeSoto Eagles, and his 17-yard touchdown run here made it 14-0 Eagles early on. They led this game 21-3. Cibolo Steel came back a bit, but in the third quarter, DeSoto up 11, and Robinson hits Laviska Chenault, now with the Seahawks, and actually scored last night on Thursday Night Football. This time a 51-yard touchdown pass to make it 35-17 Eagles. And Todd Peterman and company celebrate the first state title in the program's history, a 38-29 DeSoto win. Peterman there you see on your screen, then eventually ended up as the offensive coordinator here at Duncanville until just in the last year or so. He was a big part of why they were able to finally get over that hump and win the first state title for Reginald Samples in this Duncanville program back in 2022. So he's had a hand on both sides of this rivalry.
No, he was a big part of that system that was implemented that allowed this offense to flourish. But let's not forget, it did have Caden Durham. that running game really kind of did so many special things for Duncanville. Teams just could not contain them.
Fair catch called for and made at the 23. There is no flag despite some efforts made there by Ricky Love to get a penalty thrown on DeSoto.
A little finger pointing going on right now. And I think that was one of the things that you came into this game looking at, honestly, Mike, was these teams being, who's going to keep the cool head? We know that this is a rivalry game, and this is a bunch of 16, 17, and 18-year-olds that know the validity of what's at stake here, and this is a hyped-up game. You just want to make sure that there aren't any personal fouls and things like that that take these teams out of their zone. They've done a really good job of maintaining that.
First and 10, Duncanville. Quick throw far side into a lot of traffic. Somehow that ball got through to Zach Turner. A pickup of 3 on the play.
I'm telling you, we were talking about all these players, and obviously DeCorian Moore, and Zach Turner is next. He is a big deal and a kid that is so tough. Last season, Mike, in this game, I saw this kid take a hit that I thought he was going to be out of the game. And when he came back, I'm like, this guy is tough as nails. He is a big part of this offense.
31 offers for Zach Turner. Up the middle, Jaquelin Armstrong hopping over the pile out to the 30-yard line. It'll be third and a pair. Turner with offers from LSU, Michigan, Texas, Oklahoma, A&M, on and on and on and on. Just absolutely loaded up. 8,300 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. Please click the like button, click the subscribe button here on the WFAA YouTube channel, as we will bring you a game each week here on Friday Night Football. Handoff up the middle for Devin Green. He will just barely have enough for the first down. DeSoto's defense, as it relates to the run game, has been sharp here in the early going, but that one just enough for Armstrong.
But Mike, look, this is just drops in the bucket. What you want to do is keep them honest. When you got a guy like Kiki Abrams, number 15 on the outside, pinning his ears back and just coming after you, look, and they force you to be one-dimensional, that's when you're in their scary house.
First and 10. Russell, straight drop. Deep ball for DeCorian Moore. He overshot him by about 10 yards.
But you know what? As being fair to Keelan, that's the kind of depth that you got to put on those balls.
Yes.
When you have a guy like DeCorian Moore. DeCorian is sub in everything. He is one of the fastest teenagers in the state of Texas. Clocking on one of the fastest 4x100 track teams at Duncanville in the state.
Yeah.
And so with that kind of speed, you just throw it up and let him go fetch it.
Moore on his way to Oregon. I've already seen people in the YouTube comments saying, nah, he'll flip to Texas at some point. Quick throw far side for Theus. Out to the 40-yard line, but it's going to be 3rd down and 3 here for Duncanville. An offense that averages 41 a game. Certainly heavy on the passing game. It's all Keelan Russell, DeCorian Moore, Zach Turner, Asen Theus, Trenton Yancey. That is where they make their money.
But some of these throws are just long handoffs for Keelan Russell. I mean, they dink and dunk, and he can do this all day long.
3rd and 3. Up the middle, Armstrong. 1st down.
And you know what, Mike, I laugh at that. Whoever made that comment about him flipping to Texas. Texas is loaded already at the wide receiver position.
Yeah.
I mean, they have French. They have Khalil Lockett and Saxey, and the other big-time wide receiver here in the state of Texas. I mean, these are some names.
They have Jonte Cook from Desoto already there on campus. Yeah,
absolutely.
Loaded. And Oregon's got all that Nike money.
Well, he's going to Oregon.
I'm just saying, it's all part of it now. Pressure on Russell, trying to get away. The pursuit of the pass rush from Desoto tonight, maybe not quite to the level of what we saw last year, at least not yet, but it has been in Keelan Russell's face.
But look at number 15. They got 2 guys still trying to chip on him, and he is in hot pursuit. Keelan Russell can feel 15 breathing down his neck, and look at Kiki Abrams on the back half of that. He's like, oh, I'm getting so close. He is a guy, I'm telling you, I love the conversation that we had with Coach Claude Mathis about Kiki Abrams.
2nd down and 11. We'll get into that more here. It's again Abrams that's creating pressure. Throw near side. What a throw by Keelan Russell. 1st down to DeCorian Moore.
Wait a minute. He's moving to his left and just dots that to the 40 to move the chains. That is a big-time throw.
That is an Elite 11 throw. That is a top 3 quarterback in the country throw. That is a 5-star on his way to Alabama throw from Keelan Moore to move the chains. 1st and 10 at the 41. Right into the chest of Cortez Rager. Frankly, a good job there by Duncanville's Devin Green to drag him give him 3 yards on the carry. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Number 53 has been having himself a night. Look at just the impact. Guy using his head and his hands at the point of attack. You love to see that from your defensive line, not allowing these guys to get push on you, get you pushed all back into the linebackers. That's what you like to see from your defensive tackle.
2nd and 9 as Duncanville exchanges some personnel and a timeout called by the Duncanville Panthers. That's the first timeout either team has called so far tonight. We mentioned this off the top of the broadcast, but it bears repeating. The talent that is on the field tonight, Heckma Harrison, is off the charts. You may have seen me share this graphic on social media earlier today, and I said 27 of the 44 starters in this game are Division I bound. Both schools reached out and said, hey, this guy, this guy, this guy. So we had to change this graphic up a little bit. Now the count is 34 of the 44 starters for these 2 teams headed to play Division I football. 17 on either side. That means there's only 5 starters on both teams that aren't going to play Division I football. And frankly, Heckma, as we talked about off the top of the broadcast, they very well may. They're just not currently being recruited as such. Some of the guys we're talking about are sophomores, juniors, still have time to ascend to that level. There are plenty of guys that are quote-unquote backups in this game that are freshmen, sophomores, juniors that just haven't had their time yet or weren't tabulated in this calculation because I had to cut it off somewhere. You know, I
had to stop.
I had to stop Googling somewhere. The talent on the field tonight is insane.
Yeah, it is bananas, man. And I'm just looking around this field on the outside, and you see all the media and personnel and coaches that are here.
Russell pressured but fires end zone. He's got more.
Oh my God!
Did he haul it in?
Oh my God!
Yes, sir. What a throw and catch. Keelan Russell to DeCorian Moore 3 times in the first half. Touchdown, Duncanville. Oh, my.
Look at this replay. And look, at the scramble is one thing, but understanding you got a guy that's streaking to the corner and just the ability to put it right at the pylon, that is, wow. What a play by DeCorian Moore and Keelan Russell. And this is time on task between two guys that have put in a lot of work making sure that they perfect this passing game. That was incredible.
38 yards on the touchdown hookup.
Oh, wow.
3 times in the first half, Duncanville has gone 5-star to 5-star, and it's 21-6. Watch this one again. Keelan Russell breaking contain, getting to the outside, evading the pass rush of DJ Rumpf, and then slinging it right on the money for touchdown number 3 of the half on Friday Night Football.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delcas.
Stay tuned for the Friday Night Football halftime show sponsored by Golden Chick. Golden Chick is the perfect post-game destination. Come in and see why we say it's one taste and you're golden at Golden Chick.
On that Friday Night Football halftime show, we will have the complete show from both bands and dance and drill teams. The Duncanville High School Marching Band under the direction of Mark Teal. The dance and drill team, the Duncanville Hi-Hats under the direction of Brianna Dawson. The Desoto High School Eagle Band under the direction of Carlton Cooper. And the Desoto Eaglettes dance and drill team under the direction of Regina Tucker. All that coming your way in 6 minutes and 48 seconds worth of game time. Dalen Singleton, the stud wide receiver who has the kickoff return for a touchdown for the only points in this game for the DeSoto Eagles, is down by the sports medicine tent. That bears watching, as it will instead be Sarad Baker to take it from his own 2-yard line. Baker snowed under at the 16-yard line, and that is where this DeSoto Eagles offense, Heckma, will get back to work, at least for the moment. Sans Dalen Singleton. He has picked back up his helmet and he's walking toward the offensive huddle, so it looks like he's going to make his way back out on the football field. Whatever it was seems to have been minor enough, but DeSoto now finds themselves in a spot where they got to figure out how to make a play and they got to figure out how to make a drive.
Yeah, 6:40 to the end of half, and right now that's what I would be thinking about. I'd be thinking about burning all of this time down with my running game, staying balanced, but also trying to put some points up on the board to slow this Duncanville offense down. Right now, Russell and Moore, the law office of Russell and Moore has opened and is having their inaugural business meeting here in DeSoto. And man, this is just great offense, great connection between these two, and they're scoring at will.
2nd down and 10. This run game has had a tough time getting on track. Keldon Ryan kept it on that RPO and picks up a pair.
You know what, Mike, you better be glad he pulled it right there, because had he not pulled that ball, it would have been a tackle for a loss. I mean, that's just great instincts right there from Ryan, the quarterback, at least to be able to pick up some yards. And this is going to bring up a big-time 3rd down here with 5:47 left in the first half.
Kind of feels like a must convert. Duncanville's got the ball to start the second half.
Yeah.
They're already up 21-6. They've gotten the passing game working. It took a little while, but they certainly have it working now. To the air, Ryan to Singleton, back out on the field, and makes the catch for a first down. Yes, just barely.
Well, he is right at the sticks, but that is, again, the connection between those two guys as we have a little bit of a fight, and there's a flag.
Flag comes in after the play.
I talked about this earlier, and the one thing that I was looking at coming into this game, who can keep a cool head. You don't want to give positive yard, give it plus yards to anyone in either team in this game.
It was on Landon Barnes, the junior defensive end from Duncanville.
Can't do it.
He went running to the sideline, kind of with his palms to the sky, looking at the coaches, pleading his case at the very least. But it sets up 1st and 10 for Desoto at the 41. Can they capitalize upon it? Riding out to the 45.
And again, that's just one of those things. Look, Singleton makes a great play on that first down conversion, but you add those yardage, you add the yardage to it. You just don't want to let this Eagles teams out of the hole.
2nd down and 6. Sarad Baker on the receiving end. Just a pickup of 3, though. It's going to be 3rd down and 4 for these DeSoto Eagles.
I like that closeout there by Nehemiah Barner, the linebacker. He does a lot in coverage also for this Panthers teams. He is really one of those sneaky good guys in those underneath coverages when they go zone. Number 4 is a big part of the success that they have.
3rd and 4. They've got to get into Duncanville territory to move the chains. Ryan protected well, breaks contain. Now the protection breaks down. He lunges forward. Ball came out. They'll say he was down. He maybe picked up a yard. It's going to be 4th and 3.
What do you do here? And look, the DeSoto Eagle offense is staying on the field. This isn't easy. I mean, this is what, 4th and 3?
4th and a full 3. They're at their own 48. They've got to get to the 49 in Duncanville territory. This is a DeSoto offense that averages 325 rushing yards per game. They have 55 here in the first half. They need 3 here. Tiger Ryden cannot push the pile. Duncanville's defense with another stop.
And you see the defensive coordinator, Romel Barner. He is all the way out almost to midfield, congratulating his group, and they know how big that stop was for the Duncanville defense. Everybody in the stadium knows who this ball is going to go to. They're going to hand it off and put this ball in the navel of Tiger Ryden.
1st and 10, Duncanville in DeSoto territory for the 3rd time tonight. DeSoto's offense just cannot get it rolling. They still have not hit 100 yards of total offense tonight. Not a lot of running room here up the middle for Duncanville. A pickup of 4, though, as they do push the pile forward. Flag on the play.
And that flag came out quick.
An illegal shift on Duncanville will negate the play.
Boy,
9,400 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. Please click the like button, click the subscribe button, as we will bring you a game here each week on Friday Night Football. Next week, we are in Rockwall, Forney and Rockwall in a pivotal district clash. That's a 7:30 kick here on WFAA Plus and the WFAA YouTube channel. To the air on 1st and 15. Russell again evades the pass rush and gets it off, this time close to 1st down yardage, complete in the hands of Emmanuel Ellison.
I know you can appreciate this as a former quarterback, but just the way that he's shuffling out, keeping his eyes up the field, that's exactly what you want from this big playmaking quarterback. He makes so many of these guys so good. They know and they trust their routes. If they keep running, that Keelan Russell's going to get the ball to him.
Keelan Russell is making plays in this first half to evade the pass rush from DeSoto that are mystifying. I believe a timeout was called before the snap. Yes, called by DeSoto. DeSoto head coach Claude Mathis with his hands on his knees at the 41-yard line, just like, man, we got to figure something out here. Wow, how do they figure this out? It's still only a 2-score game right now. but it feels like the entire game is on tilt.
But you really mentioned something really big about Duncanville getting the ball back at the beginning of the second half. If they're able to get points here, they call it the split in football. You're able to get points before half and after the half, man, and that's one of those things that closes the curtain on a possible comeback from Desoto. Right now, these guys have to play alignment assignment, but also try and force a turnover. This is what you got to force a mistake to this Duncanville offense, because right now they're just picking their shots. They're getting 3-4 yards here in the running game, but when they go play action, their stud wide receivers are getting their stud wide receiver is getting behind your defense.
Comment here in the YouTube feed says DeSoto's not beating Summer Creek, not with this offense. I hear your point, but I will just say this. They have a 60-point margin they've got to make up in a year. Second down and a yard. Pressure on Russell again. Again, he gets away. This time he can't get all the way away. Chased out of bounds by DJ Rumpf. It is a loss of 4, and it'll be 3rd and 5.
Let me just say this about that play. In previous years, Keelan Russell would have tried to make the miraculous happen, and he may have put that ball in harm's way.
Yeah.
This is maturity that I'm seeing right here. Even though he lost yardage right there, what he didn't do was turn the ball over.
Smart play, understanding, hey, we can come back and make something happen on 3rd and 5. Make it 3rd and 6, a long 6. They have to get to the 37 in DeSoto territory. The blitz on. He throws over top of it again. He's got Decorian Moore, and he drops it right on him. 4 times in the half. Unbelievable. These two cannot be stopped.
This is what they call, in football terms, dropping it in a bucket. And the speed of Decorian Moore, you look on the back half of this defense, and number 5, Caden Mathis, he is doing everything that he possibly can to stay step for step with one of the fastest kids in the nation. It is impossible to stay with Decorian Moore. He is literally putting on a show right now in the first half.
He is the best wide receiver in America.
Wow.
And he has shown it in this first half. Keelan Russell is arguably the best quarterback in America. He's rated number 3 by 24/7 Sports. Take your pick at that point.
Wow.
And the two of them have completely turned this game on its ear. There have been multiple times tonight where the DeSoto pass rush has won, has been all over Keelan Russell, and he has donned the cape, evaded the pass rush, and found Decorian Moore. Or in that scenario on this last one, to make it 28-6 in favor of Duncanville, with the pressure right in his face.
Yeah.
Stepped up calmly, and to your point, dropped it in the bucket.
When we had our pregame meeting, basically, where we're talking notes and we're talking about different side things to talk about, one of the things that you mentioned was the shootout. Could this be potentially a shootout? And I said, if it is a shootout, thank God Duncanville has a gunslinger in Keelan Russell. And this is why, when I talk about his maturity and what he's been able to do as a quarterback from the time that we've seen him, Mike, to what we see right now, this guy is leaps and bounds better from what our introduction was to him. And on that last play where he lost some yards, I'm saying to you, in years past, he would have put the ball into danger zone and trusting that, hey, he has one of the top defenses in the nation that's going to come out and support him. But what does he do? He takes that loss and comes back the next play and literally walks the ball out to Decorian Moore. That's incredible.
Dalen Singleton driven back into his own end zone by this kickoff from Jonathan Beatrice. And out to the 25-yard line comes this DeSoto offense, now down 3 scores here in the first half on their home field, a year after a 49-35 win in this rivalry. 2 minutes and 41 seconds, a pair of timeouts to work with for Duncanville. for DeSoto, it feels like you got to have points in a game that, by the way, everyone wants to see, whether you got a ticket or not.
Look at that. Look at that. I mean, look, they're not letting them in anymore. They're just standing around the gate. This is standing room only. And everyone's standing around the fence. I'm telling you, that just even the media personnel.
Keldon Ryan up the far side. A good pickup on the first play of the series.
May want to walk out there and let them know they can go into the WFAA app and watch the game on their phone. Be a perfect
You might
time.
have a better angle, guys.
You know, come on, guys.
This man's on top of a truck trying to see the game.
Guys,
look at this.
Take your grandmama back home and let her sit in her living room and watch the game, okay? Jeez.
There's nowhere to go for this DeSoto running game. Tiger Ryden is the best running back in the state, and he has nowhere to go. And he's got a great offensive line in front of him.
He does.
The game plan from the Duncanville defense, from Ramel Borner, their defensive coordinator, and the execution of this front seven to cancel out one of the very best running games in Texas has been unbelievable in this first half.
And another 3rd down and 3 coming up here. Where do they go?
To the air. And that is complete for a first down to Christoph Fantroy. It feels like they need to throw the ball just to loosen up this defense.
Man, and that is what you call breathing a sigh of relief. Getting that ball out to Fantroy, and Fantroy understanding where the sticks are, picking up that first down. That was big time with 1:57 seconds left in this first half.
Duncanville showed pressure off the edge, but only rushes 4. Ryan has all day. Now being chased from behind. Makes a man miss, but then has to duck out of bounds with just a 2 to 3 yard gain.
And I know they didn't get a sack on that play, and Ryan was able to get out and still pick up some yards, but that's a coverage sack. Everybody on the back half of this defense, they had him in zone, and Ryan couldn't find anyone streaking or coming open. And that's really defensive coordinator Ramel Borner just putting you in a position of where your quarterback is guessing what kind of coverage he's looking at.
2nd and 7, complete Singleton out of bounds. 1:39 to work with here in the first half. Friday Night Football is sponsored by Texas de Brazil, an experience for all senses. From the sizzle of skewers on the grill to the vibrant colors of our fresh offerings, Texas de Brazil is a feast for your eyes, ears, and taste buds. As up the middle goes DeSoto quarterback Keldon Ryan, and he paid for it thanks to Jalen Manning. He got the first down, but he paid a price.
Oh, that'll change everything right there. Oh, man.
D. Cleater, but right back up and firing is Ryan, near side, complete to Singleton. Down to $1:17 and moving here in the second quarter. Again, DeSoto does have the 2 timeouts, Heckma.
God, Keldon Ryan is tough, boy. I tell you what, he took that one. That was a tough lick from number 33, Manning.
All 6'2", 240 of them right in the chest of Keldon Ryan. Ryan again breaks contain up the near sideline. He's got enough for a first down. Claude Mathis looking for a penalty. A flag did come in way from behind the play at the tail end. Braylon Edwards saying that there should have been a flag. Claude Mathis wanted one too on the other side.
They get a crackback block, another crackback block. And they got a player down on the far side, on the near side over here.
It is a Duncanville Panther, but we can't see who. He's surrounded by DeSoto players. It is Jalen Manning.
The guy that delivered a shot on Ryan.
He was the one who got the blindside hit right there at the end of the play.
Clay Marshall, can you run that back one more time for me?
You'll see as Keldon Ryan runs out of bounds, and really the play is over. The hit is unnecessary. The block is, even if it were a clean block, it's unnecessary. Manning was just kind of jogging to the sideline because everybody knew Ryan was going to step out of bounds.
But I tell you what, thank you, Clay. And you saw right there, Coach Mathis came unglued when that flag came out.
Mathis trying to clear the sideline there a moment ago for Jalen Manning. That's going to negate the run there by Keldon Ryan and bring the football back to the 44-yard line in DeSoto's own territory. Just 51 seconds now to work with here before halftime. And Heckma, it really feels like they need to find some points here.
No, they do. They really do, and they're trying to stretch the field, and that's a great throw across the middle. Again, still picking up yardage. Maybe call a timeout here.
So Rod Baker was the one who made the catch. They have not yet used a timeout. They're going to have to hustle back to the line of scrimmage, down to 35.
Wow.
It is going to be 3rd down and 7. They have to get to the 43-yard line to move the chains, call it 3rd and 8. Down to 25 seconds in the half. Ryan. Pressure, but protected. Fires downfield, has a man, but not able to get a foot in. Oh, he was able to get a foot in. Somehow, a foot inbounds there for Boobie Feaster, the sophomore. His first catch of the night, Heckma. The superstar sophomore, the #1 receiver in the country in the sophomore class, finally on the sheet. I don't know how he got a foot in bounds. I'm not certain that he did.
I don't know if he did, but
they moved the chains.
How about a scramble drill right there from Boobie Feaster? Just keeping himself in the line of sight of his quarterback, working back to the ball, and picking up the first down. But
now Reginald Samples will use his second timeout of this first half. Can we get one more look, Clay Marshall, our director, at that last replay? Slow it down here at the tail end. Can we see whether or not did he drag a foot at the very tail end of this catch and somehow have a toe inbounds? Trying to queue up the replay right now.
Oh, this has been a highly contested game. I mean, and you can't just tiptoe around and be near the sideline. Boy, these guys are still aggressive and laying shots right now. You saw on that last play from Jalen Manning. These guys are just all over each other, man. This is a great football game. Not over with yet. 13 seconds left in this first half as we.
Here is one more look at the catch from Boobie Feaster. I think he did keep that toe just barely down.
Well, that's close.
Really, really close. 1st and 10 at the 41. 13 seconds to work with. Ryan is sacked. DeSoto calls a quick timeout. 7 seconds left. Landon Barnes with the sack.
And Landon Barnes, these last couple of possessions, he's been just crying to the referee for a holding penalty. And they haven't given it to him. But on that last possession, boy, he cracks the code, gets through that offensive line, and gets the sack. As I believe there was a timeout called.
Yeah, no, timeout was called by DeSoto after the play because of the sack to preserve the 7 seconds. There was a player from Duncanville being talked to by his teammates, trying to kind of calm him down. There was a little bit of a unsettled situation there for a moment, but it does not appear that any flags were thrown in the middle of all of that. So it is going to be DeSoto ball at the 47-yard line in Duncanville territory. It's 2nd down and 16, but the 16 is immaterial. Really, it's 2nd down and 47 because all that matters is can DeSoto get points here before halftime. Ryan's got 3 wide receivers to the bottom of the formation. Pressure in his face, gets away, down to 5 seconds on the clock, fires downfield, out of bounds. 1 second remaining in the half. They'll have one more shot at it. There is a flag after the play as Ryan got hit. Mason Williams is going to get flagged.
Yeah, they're going to get Mason Williams for roughing. There's going to be just 1 second left. got a shot here.
They'll put the ball at the 32-yard line. Certainly in range to fire to the end zone. Not in range to try a field goal. It'd be a 49-50-yarder from here. Outside of realistic field goal range for Destin Anyachukwu, the DeSoto senior kicker.
No Brandon Aubrey out here tonight, so be automatic. automatic.
Yeah, Aubrey from here,
yeah.
That's a chip shot for him.
Man, what a game. And you know, this Duncanville offense, can't say enough about the way that they came out here in this first half. I think, you know, if somebody, by some prayer being answered here for DeSoto in the 1 second left here in the first half, man, if they go into half, you know, down the score being 6-28, Coach Claude Mathis has got to do some soul searching with his guys to find out what can actually be done to get them back in this game, because right now this has been completely one-sided through 2 quarters.
1 second to work with here out of the timeout for DeSoto. Can they find a heave to the end zone to get back into this a bit? Pressure, Ryan gets away, fires end zone, has a man back there, he overshot the end zone. Incomplete, no flags, and the half will come to an end. 28-6 at halftime. Heckma Harrison in favor of Duncanville. A very impressive performance from Reginald Sample's team through 24 minutes.
It's been a rout, and the way that they responded. Things started out slow, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
Those first couple of possessions filling each other out, maybe the nerves just too high. But once they settled down, and once you figured out how to take those first couple of blows of the first couple of rounds, if you're looking at the prize fighters, comparing it to boxing, somebody settled in the third and the fourth and discovered their jab. The jab came by Keelan Russell, and the hook off that jab was DeCorian Moore, and the way that he just continuously burned and got behind the DeSoto defense. For me, it's mind-boggling when you have a player like DeCorian Moore and you're defending him with just one man. You've got to bracket coverage to him. You've got to at least relegate a safety to stay over the top. You've got to get your cornerback some help. This is not a one-man job.
A Southside showdown that was built up to be the game of the year has been all Duncanville through the first half. 4 Keelan Russell to DeCorian Moore touchdown passes, and Duncanville leads 28-6 at the break. When we return, the Friday Night Football halftime show. As you can see, the band's ready to go. The 12-yard touchdown.
Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Forney at Rockwall. Stream the broadcast free. Next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
And now, the Friday Night Football halftime show, sponsored by Golden Chick.
And first up on the Friday Night Football halftime show, the Duncanville High School Marching Band under the direction of Mark Teal, and the Duncanville Hi-Hats there at midfield under the direction of Brianna Dawson. We hope you enjoy the show.
hold the Texas 6A record for most appearances at the UIL State Marching Band Championships, appearing 25 times. Please welcome to the field the 2024 Duncanville High School Marching Band.
They can sit right here.
The DHS Marching Band is led onto the field today by drum majors Kendrick Davis, Audrey Edwards, Jocelyn Parra, and Amanda Saifong. The Duncanville High School Band is led by Brett T, Paula Tagalas, Ella Browning, Ryan Fernandez, and Anna Anderson. The Duncanville High School Band is directed by Mike Shapiro, Joey Sissy, Jake Mooney, and Alex Serrano. Tonight, the Duncanville Band will perform parts 1 through 4 of our 2024 show entitled Foils. Our 2024 show is a celebration of the Duncanville Band's 70th anniversary.
Our thanks once again to the Duncanville High School Marching Band and the Duncanville Hi-Hats for their half of the halftime show. Halfway through, about 14 minutes left in halftime here at DeSoto's Eagle Stadium. Time for the DeSoto High School Eagle Band and the DeSoto Eaglettes to take the field. Carlton Cooper, the band director, Regina Tucker in charge of the Eaglettes. We hope you enjoy the show.
Savannah Manning, and Harmony Flood. Tonight, the Eaglettes will be performing to I'm So Real. Ladies and gentlemen, the Eaglettes. music of Britney Spears, Metallica, and Billie Eilish, we answer the question, mirror, mirror, who's the fairest of them all? Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Desoto Eagle Man.
Thank you for joining us on the Golden Chick Halftime Show.
A terrific first half from the Duncanville Panthers. 28-6 the lead in favor of Duncanville at halftime. Mike Leslie and Heckma Harrison back here with you in the broadcast booth. Let's show you the highlights of how we got to this point, Heckma, because it was a wild back and forth, but then eventually dominated by Duncanville first half. It was slow to start, but then Keelan Russell made a man miss in the backfield, and DeCorian Moore was wide open behind the defense. 66 yards for the touchdown, 7-0 Duncanville after the first quarter. Watch this again. I mean, just evades the defense. Marshall Curvin, where'd he go?
Yeah, where did he go? And this is, as you see these highlights, there's going to be a recurring theme that's going to start to happen in these highlights.
On this one, they ran a trail route here where DeCorian Moore stacked behind his fellow wide receiver, and that gave him some separation here.
And that celebration at the end, and probably what cost him with the next highlight that's going to come up. But what a throw and catch from Moore and Russell. This has just been complete domination.
Then after that 14-0 score from Russell to Moore, this from Dalen Singleton, who had a kickoff return for a touchdown a year ago in this game. This time takes this one 82 yards, and it was 14-6, and at least for the moment, Heckma DeSoto had some life.
Yeah, you offer up a little bit of light right there to this DeSoto Eagles team that after being down 14-0, it really started to look like, man, the Panthers were going to put their foot on the gas and just just blow these guys out in the first half.
But back came Duncanville again, and again it's Keelan Russell breaking contain, getting away from DJ Rumpf, and Heckma, this throw was ridiculous.
Yeah, this is one of those Sports Center top plays. This is, look, this at its finest. These two guys, the connection that they have, it is a no-brainer. It's Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, ESP commercials. This is ESP right here between two big-time playmakers. But this, to me, was literally the icing on the cake. That throw from Keelan Russell to DeCorian Moore, he could have just walked this ball out there and handed it to him.
They put on a clinic in the first half. There's no two ways about it. What DeCorian Moore and Keelan Russell did, Russell keeping plays alive and giving himself time to find Moore downfield, Moore just leaving his defender. It was unbelievable. Let's go ahead and show you the stats from the first half of this one. They aren't exactly lopsided, maybe not quite to the point that you would expect in what is a 28-6 lead for Duncanville. Certainly outpacing them from a yardage perspective. To me, what's wild is that 241 of their 254 is through the air for Duncanville. The penalties are concerning for DeSoto. 8 for 79. That was something that Claude Mathis talked about in terms of being part of why they lost to North Crowley earlier this year, and he said it was something he was focused on tonight.
Yeah, it stalled a lot of those drives. A lot of those positive yards that they had happening in the first half were negated by penalties. That's one of the corrections that they have to make. I'm sure that Coach Claude Mathis went into halftime and talked specifically about those penalty yards, but also, look, they've got to get so many things going here because it looks like in this passing game, if they continue with this course, this is going to be one of those games where Duncanville is just going to put their foot on the neck and shut this game down. 58 yards passing, 80 yards rushing. That is inexcusable from a DeSoto Eagles offense that is very explosive.
Second half will begin here momentarily. It will be Duncanville ball to start the second half. What feels like an absolute must stop for the DeSoto defense as we get this second half underway. Comment from CheckRex7 in the YouTube comments says, thank you to WFAA and Golden Chick for allowing me to see these nationally ranked teams. It bears saying, for the first time, also thanks to Texas Day Brazil, a new sponsor here on Friday Night Football, making their debut tonight and with fantastic timing for the game of the year. Duncanville and DeSoto, number 1 and number 4 in the state, a pair of two-time defending state champions in what is a thoroughly packed house here in DeSoto. Fans lined up on the end, sitting on trucks, watching through the chain link fence. Anybody that can is trying to get a look at this football game, including roughly 10,000 of you with us over the course of tonight. Did he call for a fair catch and then take off running? I think that's what happened there with Trenton Yancey.
That's what they're going to call. They're not going to allow you to do that, Trenton. Had a change of heart.
Tried to okey-doke him.
Yeah, he did. Hey, they're not going to go with the change of heart there from Yancey.
So we're ready to roll here in the second half. There you see it, the fans lined up on the fence, doing all they can to get a glimpse of this one. 11,000 the capacity here at Eagle Stadium in DeSoto, and we are well beyond that in terms of who is trying to get their eyes on this football game. 1st and 10 for Keelan Russell, and once again he finds DeCorian Moore near side. Give him 7 on the first play of the second half, which puts DeCorian Moore for the football game now up to 6 receptions for 186 yards and 4 touchdowns. Heckma Harrison.
Unbelievable. You got to find a way to stop this guy, and I think I alluded to that at the end of the first half. You cannot trust just one defender with DeCorian Moore. You got to relegate some more guys to try and get a stop.
Asen Theus this time on the swing pass. Nice form tackle on the far side by Antrone White.
Yeah, stressing these guys on the outside of this DeSoto defense. They have got to stay responsible. They can't get to, my good friend Barry Church always says, see a little, see a lot, see a lot, see a little. For defense, that's what you want to do. You want to close in and make sure you stay disciplined in what you have as a scheme on your defense. And right now, man, I tell you what, between Russell and Moore, they have just found a way to just keep dialing it up and moving these chains. And I'm sorry, I'm giving credit to someone else here, because I'm telling you, so many times we've seen Keelan Russell look for DeCorian Moore, but Yancey looking just like DeCorian Moore on that last pass.
Trenton Yancey, the transfer from Arlington Lamar, he's that next guy here at Duncanville. He is tremendous. Up the middle here for Jaquelin Armstrong, falls forward for a yard. DeSoto's defense has got to find a way to make a stop.
Yeah, it's imperative. I mean, we talk about the points at the end of the first half, which they got. Right now, I believe if they get more points coming out of halftime, this is going to be maybe the straw that breaks the back.
Near side, Zach Turner on the receiving end. Helmet came flying off there of Antrone White. It's going to be 3rd down and 3.
And just like that, you see Duncanville, they get a pass in. They was trying a little bit of their quick game, but they're getting right back to the line of scrimmage. And, man, DeSoto's defense, they've got to just be asking themselves, what do we have to do to get a stop versus these guys? Because they're dialing it up and getting what they want.
3rd down and 3. Duncanville has to get to the 44 in DeSoto territory to move the chains. Russell trying to get out the back door, and he's got the first down. Flag comes flying in at the end of the play from way in the back.
See if that is another face mask. Maybe a face mask or a hold. It came from a bit of a distance.
An illegal blindside block on Duncanville, according to our referee, Ryan Vance.
Wow.
The back judge, Patrick Clayton, firing that flag in from 30 yards downfield. And that's going to put Duncanville now in a 3rd and long scenario.
That's unique. But I tell you what, we talk about Keelan Russell. The quick decision from Keelan Russell right there. Didn't see anything come open. He takes off immediately.
The pressure gets to him this time. There is a flag at the line of scrimmage, I believe. It looks like there's a flag right at the 45-yard line. Did DeSoto jump offside? Yes, they did.
Wow. Oh, wow. You get one good thing to happen, and 2 bad things happen. They're trying to generate some pressure, and defensive coordinator Rodney Chadwick and Paul Batty, they're trying to find a way right here to get through and get pressure and make sure that Keelan Russell just isn't able to stand back there and pick them apart. But even doing that, they come too early and jump off sides.
So now 3rd and 11, another chance here for Keelan Russell. 2 wides to either side, pressure in his face, fires near side. What a catch!
What a catch.
What a catch by Asen Theus. First down, Duncanville.
And this is just a great job by Asen Theus, but just hanging in the air and coming down with that catch inbounds. Perfect coverage. I don't even know. John Trawick, he's right there, but even better ball and catch.
And the 9th penalty of the night bites Desoto again. The extra opportunity for Keelan Russell, and he capitalizes. 1st and 10 at the Desoto 41. Russell evades the pressure again, and it's another first down to Zach Turner.
Just dotting him up right now.
You can't put the ball in a better spot than that.
He is dotting them up. That is a small area throw. As you see the scramble right here, but that's with a guy on his back. Antron White has got to be saying, what else can I do to stop this? Antron White, 5'9", 160 pounds. He is like a backpack on Zach Turner, who is 6'3", 215 pounds.
And yet, they still make the connection and move the chains, and it's 1st and 10 Duncanville at the 25 in DeSoto territory. Delay of game on Keelan Russell.
Yeah, and that's, that right now the Duncanville Panthers, they're not going to burn a timeout here to get out of that penalty. They take the 5 yards and bring up a 1st and 15. Still playing the numbers, still playing it close to their chest.
1st and 15. Heck, can DeSoto draw something up here to maybe get some pressure on?
More pressure.
More movement here.
Yeah, more movement. Kiki Abrams is pointing across, trying to signal that that's on the offense.
Kiki Abrams or Cam Newhouse? Cam Newhouse.
They're going to get Cam Newhouse. And Newhouse, God bless him, man. He tried to stay as still as he possibly could. Hey, 6'3", 310 pounds, brother. Everybody in DeSoto saw you move. You're not going to get away with it.
1st and 20 now for Duncanville. This really does feel like a spot where, hey, if you're DeSoto, you've got them in 1st and 20. You have to be able to get off the field. Can they? Pressure coming up the middle. This time they get to Keelan Russell. 3 DeSoto Eagles get home.
Yeah, more pressure, and that's what you could tell. This is the change. They want to present more pressure and make Keelan Russell uncomfortable. Marshall Curvin inside. Well, they're bringing the pressure from a variety of different spots. This is going to bring up a big down here. I believe it is second down in forever.
Ball's at the 42. They've got to get to the 15. 2nd down and 27 after the sack. They try and set up the screen, and they've got space.
Perfect.
Up the near side goes Devin Green, and Devin Green will score. What a play call from Jason Lavender. Touchdown, Duncanville.
Mike, what can they do to slow them down? We continue to ask this question, and the perfect call. You have a DeSoto Eagle defense that is just rearing to go. They're trying to get up the field. They're trying to present as much pressure as they possibly can. And what do? They run a screen behind them, and there's nobody home.
Devin Green on the receiving end of Keelan Russell's 5th touchdown pass of the night. 2 years ago at Duncanville in a game that was heavily rain and lightning delayed, we saw a 5-touchdown performance from Caden Durham. Now Keelan Russell says, my turn. 5 touchdown passes tonight, and Duncanville is putting it on them here in DeSoto, and the fans in DeSoto are saying, I might have seen enough. What a performance from Duncanville tonight.
But maybe they're saying, give us enough time to get home and watch the rest of the game on WFAA.
Please do. Please do.
Perfect thought. He get home in time, beat the traffic, all right? And you can watch the game on WFAA. But you're right, man. This is just one of those games right now where they literally have no answer. And dare I say it, you know, Mike, a lot has been made of the emergence of North Crowley. A lot has been made of a team that came into Desoto and beat Desoto in a shootout. When we talked to Coach when we talked with Coach Gates, Coach Gates mentioned last season losing to Duncanville in the playoffs and wanting to have another opportunity at Duncanville. Sometimes I say be careful what you wish for, because that challenge is coming.
Reginald Samples and the Duncanville Panthers just, with their performance tonight, said, shh.
Yeah. This is making a statement right now. What a play call, though, on that screen. Really caught DeSoto off balance, and there was nothing that they could do.
Can Dalen Singleton do it again? Flag down. He's potentially going to, but it's all coming back. A flag down at the 27-yard line. Dalen Singleton is a marvelous kickoff return man.
Hey, can I suggest something?
Don't hold.
Don't kick it to Dalen Singleton.
There is that too.
Don't kick it to Singleton. Okay, and for anybody else that wants to kick the ball deep to number 13, don't. Wow.
The flag is going to bring it back, but he is a tremendous kick. He just has a knack for finding the seams.
It's just open space. You see right now, just being patient. And that's one of the things. How about that? 1 yard into the end zone, he brings it out. Being patient, being patient. Here comes the fire. I mean, this kid has so much speed.
So how can the DeSoto offense get something rolling here? Quick throw far side. Picks up a couple here. Fantroy on the receiving end. What do they do here, Heckman? How do you get back into this football game? They've been a team that has been 325 rushing yards per game. That's how they've made their money this year. They've got to go to the air here.
Yeah, they definitely. I mean, at this point, down by 29, you want to make sure that you give yourself, your offense, an opportunity to exercise its rights. If you're not able to make a game of it, but at least make it competitive. You want to get some scores up here. Right now, you feel like this is a rout, and there's nothing you can do against this Duncanville Panther offense that's scoring at will right now. But we know how high-powered this offense is. They've just got to continue to fire away, and they're getting off to a good start here early.
Ryan to Saran Baker to move the chains out to the 36-yard line. A good hookup here on 3rd and 5.
Yeah, here it is. It's a crossing route and staying patient. Easy throw right there for Keldon Ryan. And one of those things, Keldon Ryan also, we've seen him scramble, do some good things, but Ryan has to use his legs also. He has to be a big part of this comeback.
Ryan will try and do it with his legs here. Breaks a couple of tackles, can't break the final one. Lunges forward to the 42. He does pick up 6 on the play.
And call it, and he does it. It makes you look smart. But at the same time, I mean, this is a kid that you've seen so many times evade defenders and get away from pressure, but he's keeping his eyes up the field and just trying to create and make a big play. Ryan, take what they give you.
2nd and 4. Well protected.
Go.
Now he'll step up, trying to get the corner. Beats a man to the corner and falls forward across midfield. A nice play by Keldon Ryan to again move the chains.
Look, don't take a coverage sack. I mean, I understand you're keeping your eyes up the field, but just keep going. Do everything that you possibly can to pick up a first down.
Man down after the play for Duncanville. Looks like some cramping on the far side.
It is a unseasonably hot day in October in North Texas. Trust, it does cool off here, people. I will tell you that. It does eventually. But for some reason this week it has been hot.
You might be sitting there wondering, hey, are any of these guys going to end up in the pros? Yes. Look at the list that these two teams have put in the NFL over the course of their program's histories. 32 in total between these two teams, 23 of them from Desoto. Desoto is an absolute factory. Von Miller, I got to say, he's the most successful of the whole bunch for either team.
I think everybody
it's a
tell you that.
Ridiculous list.
Yeah, Von is well known, still going. NFL Ironman Von Miller, the pride of Desoto. So many names there. Jalen Mills, Byron Hanspard, and I can't forget about my guy Tatum Bell.
Tatum Bell.
I mean,
we had his son doing a basketball game last year. Tatum Bell Jr. playing for Frisco Heritage.
But he's no basketball player. He is a football player at Heritage. He is a dude.
Up the middle. Some space here for Myson Johnson Cook. And for the first time tonight, a touchdown from Desoto from scrimmage. Flag down after the play. There's a helmet off for a Desoto player. I think this is going to be unassociated with the play itself, and the touchdown will stand. Now Claude Mathis is having a conversation with Ryan Vance.
Yeah, these guys are, just obviously staying competitive for Duncanville, just doing a great job, trying to contain that run, but finally.
So here we go. Touchdown does stand. Personal foul on both sides. They will offset, but the play does stand. It was all post-play or very late in the down at the very least, unaffiliated with the play itself. So the touchdown stands. DeSoto's really fortunate that wasn't deemed by the officials to be part of the play, because it would have been offsetting penalties and just replay the down.
Wow.
That was on the table as a possibility there, and it was just a matter of timing which one it ended up being. Extra point here from Destin Anyachukwu. He missed the first. This time he puts it through. 35-13. DeSoto on the board for the first time with their offense finding the end zone. 4:56 to play here in the third quarter in what is now a 22-point game.
Yeah, this is when you asked me earlier, what can DeSoto do? And I said, man, just keep their offense in some kind of rhythm.
Yeah.
Just continue to move it, pick up positive yardage. Look, something good is going to come of it. Just continue to work. And on that last run right there by Myson Johnson Cook, you see this sophomore, 6'2", 225.
Yeah.
And this guy hits his head on the goalpost. Talk about the future being bright.
It was a mouthful when Claude Mathis told us earlier this week that he reminds him of Eddie George or Derrick Henry. This is what we've got next week here on Friday Night Football, sponsored by Texas de Brazil. Forney and Rockwall, a pivotal district game for these two teams. Playoff positioning at stake. Javian Osborne, the running back for Forney, one of the very best in the country, worth the price of admission all by himself. We hope you'll join us for that one next week when we are in Rockwall here on Friday Night Football. We will bring you a high school football game every Friday night here on Friday Night Football. In fact, the final week of the regular season, we're looking at maybe doing a game on Thursday and Friday. Round out the season in style. Games on the 7th and the 8th. Surprise onside? Yes? No? Maybe?
You called it. You've called it. Call it again.
Fair catch called for. I thought they called for a fair catch. They stopped the play last time. This time they let it go. On the return there for Duncanville was Ricky Love. He basically just went entirely east and west. No gain on the return, and out comes the Duncanville offense to take over at their own 26-yard line.
Got two guys in the same area at the 25 begging for that ball. And, man, talk about when tragedy happens, when you have two guys fighting for one ball. Luckily, Duncanville able to secure that kick.
That was almost disaster.
It was.
So again, the onus falls on the DeSoto defense. Can you make a stop? Over the middle, wide open is Zach Turner. First down and then some out across the 40.
What a bullet. What a bullet.
Keelan Russell has been sensational tonight. Near side, Theus setting up the wide receiver screen. Good tackle because he had some space there. Well done by Dontravian Hill.
And Dontravian, what he does is he closes that difference pretty quickly. He's all the way out on the outside. He's seeing all of the action coming towards him. Great job.
Excuse me, Caleb Holmes, 6, not 16, making the tackle.
Not allowing Theus to get out.
Timeout on the field, an injury timeout. It's Theus that is down with some cramps.
Yeah. Like I said, this is an unseasonably warm. It was an unseasonably warm day. It's going to be even hotter tomorrow. Yeah. Got a big game going on tomorrow out in the Cotton Bowl, so.
This really, it's the start of a just utterly sublime football weekend. You got this game, you've got Texas OU tomorrow, you got Cowboys-Lions on Sunday. I mean, what is better than this weekend?
I'm going to be in football coma at about 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Okay, just know it. I am. I can't wait. It is so much football, good football going on, and talk about this rivalry and the build up to this game and just how excited both of these communities are about this game. And talking to Coach Mathis and him understand, like, he has built something here in DeSoto. All of the great players that have come through this program and those 2 state titles. I mean, for me, it just signals to him and the kind of coach he is and what the groundwork that they're laying here in DeSoto. It's not like there hadn't been a program here before, right?
Over the middle, incomplete, in and out of the hands of Zach Turner, and it's going to be 3rd down and 5. He's built something incredible here. I mean, he was involved in building it in his first stint from 2008 to 2014. The back end of his stretch here, 4 straight double-digit win seasons, including a couple 14-1 seasons. It took Kyler Murray to beat some of the DeSoto teams that he had. Otherwise, nobody was beating them. 3rd and 5. Delayed blitz, tipped at the line of scrimmage and knocked away. That was, I'm pretty sure, a forward pass. And yes, they will say incomplete pass. Marshall Curvin was thinking end zone just in case. But it is an incomplete pass. But a stop for the DeSoto defense, 4th and 5, and they forced the punt.
Yeah, they're acting as though Christmas came early, but that's Kiki Abrams, number 15, just continuing the battle. We talk about the pressure on the outside. He is a guy that really is a difference maker and definitely was a difference maker in last year's game. He just took over and was unblockable last season.
So DeCorian Moore out to punt it away. Christoph Fantroy deep to return. Whistles at the snap. Timeout taken by Duncanville. Their first timeout of the second half. Good comment here in the YouTube comments from Gregory Seals. Says, hey, don't forget to shout out DeSoto alum Zach Orr, defensive coordinator now for the Baltimore Ravens. A young man who already was having a great football career in his own right and now has turned it into a very promising coaching career too.
I mean, you saw the list of how many guys there were for us to name. I mean, we tried to go through it as fast as we could and not miss anybody. We're so sorry. I mean, when you got that many guys, all I could do is just...
When there's 32 of them.
Right, we'd be here reading them off like movie credits, right? It's like that. I mean, it's so many guys that have come through this program that have made an impact. And, you know, look, I was just trying to give Claude Mathis his flowers. But on the other side, for Coach Reginald Samples, I mean, you've asked him the question, when is it over? When is it going to come to an end?
He was very clear, not yet. He said he's still waking up at 3:40 every morning. Fired up, ready to coach again. DeCorian Moore puts a good foot on this one. That's going to take a big Duncanville bounce and get downed at the 4-yard line. Whoo, boy. DeSoto's defense finally makes a stop. and they end up in this hole.
I mean, Decorian Moore, how good is this kid? I mean, he's a punter. Look at the leg he puts into this thing and the placement. Incredible. What can he do?
Nehemiah Borner down there to down it. Number 4 downing it at the 4, and out comes Keldon Ryan and company 96 yards away.
This would be a big drive if they're able to cap this off with some points, Mike. You know, look, this is still a lot of ball yet to be played.
There is. There absolutely is. And there's time to be worked with, but Desoto's got to play really well the rest of the way. Borner, right on him. Did he get out of the end zone? Only just barely. Keldon Ryan got out.
It's like, okay, I thought he had 2 hands up on the far side. He gets out to the 1-inch line. Look at Nehemiah Borner closing in. Boy, Ryan is lucky to get out of the end zone. I don't think he did, but they can add it. Wow.
Borner was sprung loose. I don't think anybody touched him. Some sort of breakdown in the protection, and Borner was scot-free to the quarterback. Now from their own 1-inch line, they hand it off. Up the middle. Look at Myson Johnson-Cook already with a touchdown run on the day. The 5-star sophomore spinning his way for a first down.
Got to use that big body. And how about this, man? The difference between him and Tiger. Tiger, this is your sophomore coming in and just a complete change of pace back for this Duncanville defense.
Now Keldon Ryan's going to keep it himself. Runs the ladder out across the 25-yard line and another first down.
I thought it was very important when we talked about what can actually be done. Ryan was the guy that was the key here for Desoto. I mean, look, he's done so many things as far as scrambling and trying to get other guys involved. Right now, he has got to depend on his legs. If they can't pick up a first down, if no one's open, run it.
Timeout on the field for an injury, a Duncanville player down. We have seen some cramping tonight, and that looks like what this is once more. You mentioned earlier just how hot it has been tonight, will be again tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be. But all of 94, 95 tomorrow.
Crazy.
Game time for Texas OU out at the fair.
In the middle of October. Just wild.
Yeah.
Quick scan of the YouTube comments. Antonio says if DeSoto scores here, they should go for 2. Edwin Moore says, wow, extremely nice punt, talking about the Decorian Moore punt from a moment ago. Kenny said, that's a safety. A couple comments saying that they thought that was a safety. It was very, very close at minimum. Out of the timeout for the injury, 1st and 10, handoff Myson Johnson-Cook again. The sophomore doing some work. LL with a comment in the YouTube comment saying, why didn't he carry the ball in the first half?
Yeah.
Fair question, my friend, because he has been doing work here in the second half, and he's kind of been the DeSoto offense in the second half.
Yeah, different pace of a guy, but one of the things I can definitely see in his game, you know, he is not one of those first contact go down guys. He's spinning and, you know, getting still falling forward.
2nd and 3, he'll take it again up the middle. That'll be enough for a first down, and again, he finds a way to pull the pile forward. Got some help from his offensive lineman, Elijah Andrews, another sophomore, helping to push the pile out across the 40 to the 41.
As they go quick,
they
right
need
back to the line.
The throw to Singleton. Out to the 49, a pickup of 8.
Oh, we have a player down over here on the near side. Looks like that's number 3, Holiday.
Javian Holiday, an SMU commit, down after the play.
So he got tied up there, and it was 2 defenders converging on Singleton and a little bit of friendly fire. Let's hope he's all right. He's played a solid game so far today.
Friday Night Football is sponsored by Texas de Brazil. Indulge in unlimited flavors. Why settle for just one dish? At Texas de Brazil, every dining experience is an unlimited exploration of bold, fresh, and authentic flavors. Next week on Friday Night Football, sponsored by Texas Day Brazil, we are in Rockwall, Forney and Rockwall, right here on the WFAA YouTube channel, WFAA Plus. Again, download the WFAA Plus app to your smart TV using Apple TV, Roku, or Amazon Fire TV. If you're on your mobile phone, you can use the regular WFAA app. You can watch there as well, or you can watch on the WFAA YouTube channel, as many of you are tonight. By my eye, we peaked at about 9,900 concurrent viewers there in the first half. And if DeSoto is able to, Heckma, continue this comeback, we may see that number grow just that much more. Javion Holiday, you see, walking off under his own power, but without his helmet.
And that is a big loss if he can't come back into this game. His responsibility on the outside, and I think Coach Ramel Barner, he trusts his cornerback.
So out of the injury timeout, 2nd down and 2 here for DeSoto. Clock winds again on the official signal. 13.5 minutes left in this football game. Can DeSoto do something with it? Ryan has all day made me a sandwich in the pocket, then fires near side, complete first down to Bowie Feaster.
Maybe some nachos, a charcuterie board. He's doing it all. Look at the time that he has.
He has all day.
And finally, Bowie Feaster, I guess believe the 2 catches that Feaster's made today has all been pretty much scramble drill kind of balls coming his way.
They find him this time on a timing route to the near sideline. If DeSoto's going to make a comeback, they're going to need 7 to be involved. The #1 wide receiver in America in the sophomore class, a 5-star prospect, a young man who went rather viral earlier this fall on a trip to Oklahoma, a recruiting trip to Oklahoma. And the OU football Instagram account posted that Bowie Feaster was coming for a visit as they fire up the sideline for Singleton, nearly intercepted. Travion Cherry was there for the pick. Singleton did a good job to make sure it wasn't intercepted, but now Day-Day's down after the play.
Yeah, and trying to cherry pick right there for Travion. It looked like he had a good bead on that ball. He broke on it perfectly. But in the process, I think there was a bit of a collision between he and Singleton.
Singleton still down at the 3-yard line. He was magnificent a year ago in this game. 3 touchdowns all in the first half. A 76-yard touchdown reception to start the game. Very first play from scrimmage. A 96-yard kickoff return for a touchdown to make it 14-3. He had the touchdown reception late second quarter to unlock what was a 21-21 tie and give DeSoto the lead for good in that football game. He's got the kickoff return for a touchdown tonight as well. But he took a big hit there at the back end of that play, and he is still down at the 3-yard line.
Well, that is not good. If you are a DeSoto Eagle fan, he is so much a part of your offense and that big play ability. So just to see him sit up right now, let alone get up, yeah.
Back on his feet now, stumbles his way out of bounds, but is under his own power.
Well,
we saw him earlier tonight, Heckma, struggling a little bit and over by the medical tent. Was able to come back out on the field. You hope he'll be able to come back again at some point here in this final quarter.
Yeah, he is the playmaker.
3rd down and 4 out of the injury timeout. Ryan gets out the back door. Going to try and run for it. He's got the first down. Keldon Ryan cutting back across the middle of the field. First down DeSoto inside the 20.
Yeah, use those wheels. Use those wheels, and that's exactly, I mean, man, he's taking our advice. Don't sit back there in the pocket. If it's not open, just, tuck and run.
Final 25 seconds here of the 3rd quarter. DeSoto on a drive that began at their own 4-yard line That ball is complete on the near side to Antron Edmondson. 11 seconds in the quarter.
Edmondson dug that out of the turf.
Down to 5. Keldon Ryan's going to try and snap the ball one more time. Up the middle, Tiger Ryden spinning his way inside the 10 on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. 35-13 Duncanville as we head to the 4th, but Desoto on the march and trying to make this 4th quarter interesting here on Friday Night Football.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
The 12-yard touchdown.
Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Forney at Rockwall. Stream the broadcast free. Next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
Back in Desoto, Friday Night Football with the game of the year. Number 1 Duncanville, number 4 Desoto, a pair of two-time defending state champions. An old Southside showdown. Desoto down 22, Heckman. It's a 3-score game right now, but they're about to have 3rd down and 2 at the 9-yard line in Duncanville territory. Can they make something happen here?
Well, I think they have to. I think you're right now. This 4-down territory for Desoto, and they can also pick up a 1st down.
They're going to swing it near side. Tiger Ryden's got blockers. Tiger Ryden's got inside the 5. Lunges for the end zone. They're going to say he's short. Ball did come out at the end of the play. They're going to mark him short of the end zone, but it's going to be 1st and goal. Desoto at the 1.
This is a guy. Look at him fighting to get to that end zone. I thought he got it across, but obviously ball comes out the last minute. This is a big time.
They bobbled the snap, and Tiger Ryden with nowhere to go.
Oh, man. And wrong time to bobble a snap for the Eagles.
They lose about a yard. They're going to mark it. Oh, never mind. They're going to say it was offside against Duncanville at the start of the play, so it's half the distance. Still 1st and goal, now inside the 1. This time they don't bobble the snap, and this time Tiger Ryden scores. Touchdown Desoto, and it is down to a 2-score game.
And how about the workmanlike approach that Desoto has come into the second half, and they've just continued to run, and really, if you think about it, it was the sophomore, Myson Johnson Cook, and those big-time runs and just continuing to move the chains and keep the possession for Desoto. Look, this is 11-28. If they can get a stop here, I think it makes things a little bit more interesting.
Extra point from Duncanville from Anya Chukwu is up and through. 35-20 with 11:28 to play here in the 4th quarter. Desoto's defense, Heckma, has found their way to a point where they've made some stops here late in that 3rd quarter, made a couple stops now. There's a window of opportunity, but they still have to do a lot of things right.
And look, I think what I have seen from the defense, let's just talk about for Desoto's defense. What they are doing is they are getting Keelan Russell off of his spot. They're doing a lot of good things, presenting pressure, but they're also finding a way to keep the cap on DeCorian Moore. They're just not allowing this guy to get behind the safeties, but they're also doing a really good job of shutting down the other cast of characters as well. They're going to have to continue this. A lot of time still left in this ball game. If they can do all of those things continuously, consistently, Mike, look, hard for me to think about saying that, especially with the way that DeSoto's offense has been scoring at will.
Yes.
But here's the deal. A little bit of this momentum has gone over to the other side for DeSoto. And the Eagles just have to get a stop now on defense.
Onyechukwu to kick it away. Theus from his own 2. Asen Theus finds a seam. Flag behind the play. Theus will get taken down at the 43. A couple flags. One back at the 17-yard line, one at the 23. It looks like Duncanville is going to start this possession deep in their own territory.
Yeah, this is, boy, Asen Theus, how exciting is he? I mean, this kid is just showing you that speed, but that holding penalty obviously bringing it back.
I think Joe McKinney, the sophomore, if I was reading the lips of our referee Ryan Vance correctly, I think he said number 22, the offending party. That is going to bring the ball back to the 9-yard line. So I say again, if DeSoto can make a stop, that is a big if, based on what we've seen tonight and the virtuoso performance from Keelan Russell.
Well, we're about to find out.
But if they can, all of a sudden, it kind of starts to feel like the worm is turning here.
That does.
But can they? Moore on the receiving end. Give him 5 on the first play of the possession.
And if I'm Duncanville, I just get back to what I was doing before. The short passes, get that running game going on 3rd and short to pick up those yards, continue to make this clock run. Because right now, that's their friend. Get this clock to running.
2nd and 5, again complete to DeCorian Moore, and DeCorian Moore dragging tacklers out across the 30 to the 35.
Well, if you're going to be in coverage like that and you're going to play off the way that DeSoto is, they're just going to just turn that direction and give it to him. Caleb Holmes is giving him about a 5-7 yard cushion. I don't blame him.
Yeah,
I don't blame him.
1st and 10. Russell pressured and taken down. Duncanville's defensive front again gets home. Curvin with the sack.
Yeah, and Curvin is just, we've talked about him earlier, just the way that Curvin is just anchoring himself in the middle, not get pushed around, but just having the presence of mind when Keelan Russell starts to scramble, get a sack. You know, 2nd down and long approaching here for Duncanville, and we've seen Keelan Russell make these kind of downs look easy.
2nd and 11. They again bring pressure. They get to him, but he gets the pass off. Is it picked off? No, it falls incomplete. Somehow that ball evaded the grasp of Antron White. Oh my, he had it twice.
Who needed that? The DeSoto Eagles, and for the first time, you see Keelan Russell force a pass that almost gets this Duncanville Panther team in trouble. This is going to bring up a big-time 3rd down, and boy, if you left too soon, you may be missing a treat.
Man, that was so very close. That ball just kind of crawled all over the chest of Antron White, but it was never quite something he could squeeze. Flag at the snap.
I think they're going to get Zach Turner down here near side. Moved too early.
Look at Kiki Abrams fired up, man. DeSoto feels something happening right now.
Yeah, this has truly been a game of momentum shifts. And right now, the DeSoto Eagles are riding high off of that last touchdown. If they can get a stop here, I think this is going to be big. This is bringing up a 3rd and 16.
Taquan 2747 in the YouTube comments says, what is going on?
I'm with you.
Russell, this time they can't set up the screen. 4th down. DeSoto with another defensive stop, and look at the Eagle sideline.
Well, they unleash Kiki Abrams. He is, I mean, that can't be the way that that play was designed. You've got to get somebody in front of him. But boy, listen to this crowd erupt.
Jace Hill-Douglas, the linebacker, fired up. Kiki Abrams, the 3-star on his way to TCU, dominating here early on in this fourth quarter, especially on that set of downs. They forced the punt. DeCorian Moore on to kick it away on 4th and 16. High into the DeSoto night. It will check up at the 32-yard line. And don't look now, but the DeSoto Eagles, down 2 scores, 9:33 to play in the fourth, will take over at their own 32-yard line. Heckma with a chance to make this a game.
Yeah, ball game. I mean, this is right now on offense. I'm looking to see which running back they come back with. And don't look now, the sophomore, Mike St. Johnson Cook, the guy that really kind of, I think, sparked this comeback.
Yes.
They made the change at running back, and what a difference he made.
He'll get the first carry. Into the pile he goes. Held on to for dear life by Landon Barnes.
Yeah, that's all you can do. And really what happened right there is he runs into Byron Washington.
2nd and 8. Near side, Fantroy hauls it in. It's going to be 3rd and 2 for DeSoto.
Yeah, and Holiday is back on the field on the other side. We saw him, he went out earlier. Got to 3rd down really quickly.
Over 10,000 of you with us right now on the WFA YouTube channel. The handoff near side. Sarad Baker makes a man miss. He's got the first down close to midfield.
I mean, how many different guys are they going to hand this ball off to here in the second half? They're trying to get this change of pace going at the running back position. And I think right now for Coach Ramel Barner, the defensive coordinator, he's got to find a way to stop the bleeding here in the second half. Get a stop on these guys because they are finding those running lanes.
It's Baker again with the carry, the sophomore kind of wide receiver running back hybrid. He's already seeing his recruiting pick up as a sophomore. Second and 6. Ryan again with all day to scan the field, finds Baker over the middle. It's going to be close to the, he got away, but they had blown the play dead, and Baker can't believe it.
Baker's like, come on, man, give me an opportunity here. I'm still battling. I'm trying to figure out what's going on the outside with the rushers. Right now,
they did blow the whistle. And
okay.
It's going to be 3rd and a yard as a result.
These rushers for Duncanville, they've got to continue to battle and get up the field.
Keldon Ryan keeps it here. He's got the first down and then some. Running to the outside to the 30-yard line. First down DeSoto.
Back to the line of scrimmage quickly, boy. I love this pace right now from the DeSoto Eagles.
Ryan finds Baker again over the middle. Baker breaks another tackle. Sarad Baker inside the 15, nearly sprung loose for the score.
What heart. What heart. We talked about what they can do to get back in this game. It was minimal, but they have checked all the boxes. And right now, 7:06 here in the fourth. A score right now changes everything.
First and 10, ball over the head of Keldon Ryan. He's got time, stands up, and then he fumbled it. Keldon Ryan pounces on top of it. It will stay DeSoto ball. He was going to have a chance to throw the ball away and then lost it again. The high snap from Jabraylon Stewart. He's got time, and then it slips out of his hand again.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable is right. We talked about how hot and humid this night is, and I can imagine Ryan's hands are probably slippery, and that's what ball slips right out of his hands.
All the way back at the 38-yard line.
Wow.
Ryan probing, still on his feet to the 31. Give him 7 on the play, but it's going to be 3rd down and 29.
How crazy was that? The snap over his head in the bobble. It's wow. That is man, that is wild.
Incredible. They've got to get to the 2 for a 1st down. Ryan over the middle, has a man. Tiger Ryden gets hit hard.
Yes, he does.
Close to the original line of scrimmage at the 13, 14-yard line. We'll see the spot here in a moment.
I didn't see
Is there another flag?
No, I didn't see a flag.
They're walking it back, though. There's a flag on the far sideline. They're having a conversation with Reginald Samples now.
They're walking the ball back.
They're walking the ball back to the spot where the play ended.
What is going on?
Ineligible man downfield on the Desoto offense, and they will replay 3rd down. They had an offensive lineman, it looks like it's 55, the right tackle, Xavier Atkins, that went downfield early. And that negates the 3rd down completion over the middle there to Ryden and brings it back to the 36.
That was a great play call just to get back to the original line of scrimmage. What can they come up with here on 3rd down and 34?
Ryan over the middle, intercepted. What a one-handed pick by Jalen Manning.
What a play by number 33. The linebacker just surveying from his middle linebacker stance. He is reading the eyes of Ryan. And I'm telling you what, that I used to do it like that back in the day too. One-handed, baby, with the club on my hand. with the club on my hand. You know, what a play. What a play by Manning. That is a fantastic play. Shut things down. Talk about that momentum moving in the way of Desoto. This is a young man that has played his heart out tonight.
Jalen Manning taking a bow on the far sideline. The one-handed snatch for the interception. Up the middle, Jaquaylin Armstrong banging his way to midfield and a 1st down.
Man, I'm gutted for Desoto because
they were that close.
They were that close, and that snap, just Ryan couldn't handle it. And then to fumble the ball, I mean, it just took you out of position. You had to make too many big plays in order to just have something positive happen in that drive. But then to throw the interception.
1st and 10 for Duncanville, 4.5 to play. Keelan Abrams is just perpetually in the backfield, but Russell somehow evades it all, and he's going to run for 4 yards.
This is number 15 to me. It's one of those players that every coach wishes he had on his team. I mean, he plays with a reckless abandon that is second to none. I mean, when number 15 is downhill and coming after you, you better duck. I mean, try and figure out a way to avoid this guy. Man, TCU has a good player coming to Fort Worth.
2nd down and 8 up the middle here for Armstrong. Falls forward to the 43. DeSoto's chances were already slim even when they were driving. They're slimmer still, but whatever chances they have left would have to start with a 3rd down stop here.
Yeah, just get a stop. See if you can do something quick. I mean, things were starting to happen for Ryan. He started to see that running game start to improve. He was starting to find his spots with his wide receivers.
It's a 3rd down and 3 here. Duncanville, of course, letting time elapse as much as they can. Up the middle, Armstrong.
Oh, he gets close.
He's short based on the far sideline judge. Did the ball come out here at the end? Desoto is pointing like they have the football. Officials checking, looking for the football, trying to pull guys off the pile.
Boy, it's a lot of fighting going on at the bottom of that pile. What I wouldn't do to be down there in that.
Desoto signaling. It is 4th down, the officials say. Duncanville got back on the football.
Boy, what a lucky grab there for Duncanville.
It's going to be 4th and a yard. Clock down to 3:17 and moving. They can bleed it down under 3 minutes before they have to snap it here on 4th down.
Boy, what a game this has been.
They'll run it all the way down here, and it looks like they'll call timeout before the play clock expires.
Mike, I don't know about you, man. I am exhausted. This has been
wild.
A lot. This is like the back and forth. It looked like, for a period of time, it looked like Duncanville was just going to run away with this game.
Yeah.
And then DeSoto comes out of halftime. They've made the adjustments. Defensively, they're starting to put pressure on these guys. Keelan Russell, you know, obviously fantastic first half. And it looks like DeSoto, they were at his beckoning call for whatever he wanted to dial up.
Yeah.
They found a way in the second half. I mean, literally putting pressure on these guys, doing everything that they possibly could, offensively, defensively, getting the stops as well. But, man, football is such a fickle thing when it comes down to making those minor mistakes. You get out of scoring position, and then all of a sudden you turn the ball over.
Yeah.
I mean, what a backbreaker. But this is a team in DeSoto. If they come back and they look at this tape, they got to tell themselves, too little, too late. Get started faster. Don't allow yourself to get behind the 8 ball the way that you did in this first half, and you wouldn't have such a tremendous mountain to climb, and that's what I felt like happened.
I can already hear, though, the conversations tomorrow at the barbershop. Man, y'all lucky we had that high snap. If it weren't for that high snap, I can just hear the DeSoto fans saying it tomorrow. 4th and 1 out of the timeout. They will go for it. If they get it, the game's basically over. To the air. Complete. Decorian Moore says, we're going home with a W. Out of bounds inside the 25. He's got 4 touchdown grabs on the night, and he's got the play that will just about put this thing away.
How reliable is number 1, Decorian Moore? And for Keelan Russell, he wasn't going anywhere else with this ball except to number 1. I'm telling you, I'm calling it routes on air because that's what it feels like. It's just him and Keelan in the stadium all by themselves when they throw that ball.
1st and 10 at the 23, 2:39 to play. He did go out of bounds, so the clock stops for that. Up the middle here for Devin Green. A gain of a yard, and DeSoto will use their first timeout. They have 3 left, so there is a window of opportunity for them to get the ball back.
Wow, what a game. And you talk about all of the athletes that were involved in this game that are, you know, potential Division I players and guys that have multiple offers. You know, this is the athletes out on this field and how fast this game has been moving, the skill in which these guys play with. I mean, on the 6A level, if you're a team that's going to be in the way of a Duncanville or DeSoto, you got to bring your hard hat. You've got to bring everything. You can't lack in any department. I don't care if it's special teams, offensive line, defensive line, they're going to test you and stress you at every weakness that you have. And it's party time in Duncanville right now.
Let's get a look at the district standings. 11-6A. The district title was, for all intents and purposes, on the line tonight. If Duncanville can close this out over this final 2:33, they'll win the district title in 11-6A. Apologies to the rest of the district. Nobody's at the level of these two teams. But I've seen some comments, you know, who's going Division I, who's going Division II, or what. Duncanville has a DeSoto has a 5A Division I level enrollment, so they are locked in. They will be 6A D2. Duncanville has the largest enrollment in the classification, in the district rather, so they will be 6A D1. These two teams will not meet in the playoffs, and they are the favorites to win state in their respective levels, 6A D1 and D2, Duncanville and DeSoto respectively. Out of the timeout, up the middle, nearly breaking loose was Devin Green. He's still short of the line to gain for a first down, but it's 3rd down and 1. Claude Mathis not burning his second timeout yet.
We saw Green scoring on a screenplay, untouched in the end zone. Great play design. Man, they're just trying to right now melt this clock out.
3rd down and 1. Run blitz from DeSoto, and they get home. It's going to be 4th down and 3.
There's
Mathis takes his second timeout. 1:46 left. Would Duncanville elect to kick a field goal here and make it a 3-score game? From here it would be, they're at the 16-yard line, it would be a 33-yarder, maybe a 34-yarder, depending on where they spot the football. If you hit it, the game's over.
It's over.
But you take the risk of a block, a return, who knows what. You take the risk of something crazy happening. I think you're far likelier to see Reginald Samples and offensive coordinator Jason Lavender say, let's do the same thing we did on 4th and 1 and go 5-star to 5-star and say goodnight.
Yep, I'm not going anywhere else, okay? We talked about these two guys, Keelan Russell and Decoria Moore, the connection that they have. It is unmatched, the connection that these two guys have, whether it's back shoulder fades, corner routes, no matter what it is. I'm sure number 12 is look at the far side over there. They've closed that space down because they know where the ball's going.
4th down, pressure on Russell. Fires end zone, complete for the touchdown.
Wonderful.
Right on the money for Trenton Yancey to put it to bed.
What a throw. And there was pressure at the feet of Keelan Russell. He was looking that way at Decoria Moore, but he has a route coming open on the backside. Great find there by Keelan Russell, and good job by this Duncanville offensive line by trying to get him some more time so he could wait to see a receiver coming open in the end zone. We're talking about maybe kicking the field goal or at least just getting the first down. How about go ahead and scoring the touchdown and closing the show?
And with 1:43 to play, Duncanville builds the lead to 3 scores. There was a flag on the celebration after the fact. That will be enforced on the kickoff. Beatrice puts it through, and it's 42-20. Duncanville getting ready to move to 5-0 on the year, 3-0 in district play. Stamping themselves, I think, Heckma, as the favorite in 6A Division I. This team is loaded for bear once again. And it all starts with Keelan Russell and Decoria Moore.
No, it starts and ends with those guys. And I think if you're Coach Reginald Samples, you look at this tape and, okay, yeah, you're satisfied. You're satisfied to win. You're going to take that win, especially versus a district rival. This is a rivalry game. You expected for DeSoto to show the heart of a champion and try and make their way back into this game, but maybe a little bit more excitement than what you wanted at certain points of this game. You got a bunch of young guys out here.
Yeah.
You got to learn how to close the show, all right? And so you don't make it so interesting. But I think this Duncanville Panther team is one of these teams that if you look up in there at AT&T Stadium, I just want you to look at these two guys if you get an opportunity to actually see live Keelan Russell and Decoria Moore. There's something special going on between between quarterback and wide receiver that in those moments and some of those throws that we've seen, like how do you do that? Like this is.
I saw a comment from somebody in the YouTube feed earlier tonight, like, why does DeCorian Moore want to break up with his quarterback? Come to Alabama and keep playing with Keelan Russell. And I'm sorry, like, forget about the recruiting implications of all of that, but I get the point anyway. The connection the two of them have, my word.
Yeah, that's incredible. It's something to see live. It is something to see live. These guys, and I mean, he's not breaking off his routes, or if he does go long on them, it just seems like Keelan Russell has the ability to find him wherever he is.
It's incredible. It really, really is. Comment from HIM in the YouTube feed says both teams still winning state. I'm inclined to agree. What Duncanville has done tonight has been very, very impressive. And Desoto, when you look at the 6A D2, the teams that are likely to end up in that bracket, you're looking at 8th-ranked Humble Summer Creek, maybe number 12 Austin Westlake, maybe Fort Bend Hightower, maybe Denton Guyer. Those look like maybe the only teams in the statewide top 25 that are going to end up in that 6A D2 bracket. Maybe it's Duncanville, maybe it's Denton Guyer that DeSoto would see in the 6A D2 regional final, potentially. Heck, maybe Lancaster, maybe Waxahachie, like, depending on how the brackets shake out. I don't see how both of these teams aren't right back at AT&T Stadium come December.
No, they have so many tough things. Like, for me, looking at DeSoto, that running attack that they have, I think is so formidable. Also, Singleton is so fast, so strong. We didn't even get an opportunity to talk much about Booby Feaster. This kid is having an incredible sophomore season.
Yes.
I mean, Duncanville.
The Duncanville defense made sure we didn't have time to talk about him.
That's exactly where I'm going with this. They schemed him out of this game. If they were going to just look, you're going to have to pick your poison on this. You're not going to have your bevy of, just whichever guy you want to use. And they tried to take as many things as they possibly could away from DeSoto. But I look at those things to say, like, what could a Summer Creek do against that? And you have to forgive me if you're in Humble, if you're in Houston. I haven't seen Summer Creek. I don't know the kind of talent that they have this year.
They've had a tremendous start to the year. They are very, very good. Summer Creek at Atascocita last week was an unbelievable game. They're very, very good. The question I would have for anybody down in Humble is, how much better are you than you were last year?
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure that DeSoto is 30, 40, 50 points worse than they were last year. I'm not sure that they're quite as good as they were last year, but they're still really, really good as Sarad Baker goes scampering up the far side on what will probably be the final play of the game. DeSoto's still really, really good, and you got a 60-point gap that you have to make up. Tonight, the gap was 22. Duncanville, losers last year on this field, said we're coming in tonight and we're going to restore order. Keelan Russell said this is a revenge game. Duncanville gets that revenge. 42-20 the final score, and it's Russell that leads the way with 6 touchdown passes.
And what an incredible game. These guys, and you see those two legendary coaches hug right there, Claude Mathis and Reginald Samples. The respect that these coaches in this community, these guys have for each other. That's what, for me, I love that more than anything, because these two coaches are leaders of men, and they are really just what they are to what they mean in their communities, not only to their schools, just really echo the kind of reputation that they have. Everything about this game is wonderful, and the fact that these guys were able to maintain, we didn't have a lot of foolishness as far as penalties and things like this. This was a very cleanly played game, other than just the football penalties.
Yeah, sure.
Is what I'm talking about.
I had a chance to talk with Claude Mathis's mother before the game tonight.
How about that?
And that was one of the things that we talked about, is the thing that not enough people know. And I want to say this here before we lose our audience and everybody jumps off of the live stream. These two programs play tooth and nail every year. All they want to do is beat each other senseless on the football field and be able to say for the next year, we got you out there and we won the district title and we're the better team this year. But these two programs love each other. These two coaches love each other, and I'm serious when I say these two programs, the players, they all know each other. They've been playing together since they were 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
These kids love they get woofing in each other's face during the game because it's brothers playing.
Absolutely.
What you're watching tonight is brothers playing against each other in the backyard, just on a grander scale with 11,000 people watching on YouTube.
I can tell you this. I go to Antioch Fellowship Missionary Baptist Church on Hampton. These kids go to the same church together. So, I mean, this is a community affair. I mean, it's, as much as you want to talk about the actual game and the bad blood, and you can market it however you want to, they've been playing against each other. They are family members.
Yeah.
All right? They're cousins. And so much goes into this. And to me, when we talk about these two teams and we talk about what they're doing as far as ending up in state, this is just showing you the excellence that you have that are coming from these two programs. I love to see it. Somebody had to win. Somebody had to lose. And I do believe DeSoto will be better for it, but they will definitely be a team that you're going to see at AT&T.
Yeah, these two programs, South Oak Cliff, Lancaster, Cedar Hill, they all battle like crazy against each other. And then they go root for each other at AT&T Stadium and say, hey, let's go take over a little South Dallas Saturday and win three state championships in a row. That's what they do, and they make each other better on nights like this.
Man, and I got to say this for, I'm loving, I got an opportunity before this game. Everybody knows that I played for Coach Reginald Samples at Lincoln High School. Got an opportunity to walk out on the field with him and just talk to Coach, and I tell you what, man, the pride that he has for this program, but also just the amount of players that he has made their lives better, for every Byron Eaton, for every player, the Jaquindon Jackson that has played for him, every guy that has ever came through a program represented by Reginald Samples, the guys that go off to play college ball, but the many guys that go into being police officers, firemen, principals, guys that are just good dudes in the community, fathers, right, that have been coached by him. He has galvanized lives, and he continues to do that by pouring into these young athletes. Joseph Thomas is the name that I was just, all of the great guys that have played for him. Yeah. And to be next to Coach, to see him still coaching at a high level, to still see him saying, look, I can reach further and I can continue to coach these kids up. I'm loving to see it. And look, that's the kind of treatment that you give a legend. You let him go out on his own terms. And that's what you got to do for Coach Reginald Samples.
Amen. Amen, 100%. And a lot of what you just said goes double for this man on your screen right here, Claude Mathis. Frustrated tonight with, I'm sure, some of the things that his team did, but I'm sure also encouraged by some of the things that his team did coming back in this football game. And heck, if not for that high snap, who knows what the last 4.5 minutes of this football game might have looked like, because they did kind of have Duncanville at least a little bit. I'll say, had them backing up toward the ropes. I'm not going to go quite to the point where to say that they had them on the ropes. But if they had scored a touchdown there and it was a one-score game, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Like the door was open.
Yeah. You know, the thing is, you can't take an if and maybe to the bank. It won't cash.
No, you cannot.
So whatever talk they got going on at the barbershop tomorrow, make sure you say that, okay? Because you can't cash that at the bank. There's only one winner, and it's over there. That's going back to Duncanville.
42-20, the final score tonight. Duncanville with the win. 6 Keelan Russell touchdown passes leading the way. Russell finishes 27 of 36 for 427 and 6 touchdowns to lead the Duncanville Panthers to 5-0. Number 1 in the state rankings, and how? Yes, they're the favorite to win state again. For our entire Friday Night Football crew, our director, Clay Marshall, our photographers, Graham Rayner and Jamie Oswald, our digital coordinators back in house, Pete Friedman, Zachary Giannis, Jay Wallace, and Paul Livengood. For Heckma Harrison alongside, I'm Mike Leslie. Thank you so much for watching Friday Night Football. Next week, Forney and Rockwall, right back here on WFA Plus and the WFA YouTube channel. We hope you will join us then. Good night, everybody.